Hi, everybody. I'm Pontoon Jody. I've got a couple friends with me up here tonight. We're going to talk about flatheads, maybe talk about the Flathead Challenge a little bit. And we want some participation from chat tonight. Talk about flatheads. Uh-oh. Rookie mistake.
Come on, rookie.
And we want participation from chat. If you have a story about a flathead you've caught, it doesn't have to be a big one. It could be one you had trouble getting in or your first one. Then I'm going to put a link out and you can come up on panel and talk about it. Then when you get done talking about it, you can jump back down and somebody else can get up.
You want me to jump back down?
No, I need your eyes. Your special eyes. I guess I can't see.
I'm going to try to find. I think I saved this picture somewhere. If I can find it, daggone thing.
And I guess we'll start with chat. Let's see what we got.
Start saying hello.
Hello. We got Fishing Local 252. I wonder who that is.
I don't know. I didn't even see the first three. He says he's fourth. I don't even see the other ones up there in chat.
Looks to me like he's third. Ain't he below us?
I'm talking about in the chat. We got Lynn Leaper over at Catfish Fever Outdoors. Mike Sampson. Pork Chops in the house. There's Daryl with Trophy Seeker Outdoors. What's up, buddy? We got Kentucky Redneck Outdoors. Quiet Man Curtis. He's feeling the pain here in Ohio as we get pelted with sleet and ice and snow, depending on what part of the state you're in. So we got Carmel Muncie also hanging out with us. We got Chuck Fry. What's going on? Trying to get there's Catfishing with Cost. There's Miss Brenda, Chris Everett. We got Mark Anthony hanging out as well. Carmel Muncie. We got Mr. Van over V3 Custom KY.
Beep, beep.
There's Has Life with Blue Cats Matter.
Yes. Oh, I know why he said that, but I'm not gonna say anything. Because guess what? He's gonna be a flathead hunter this year. Team Flathead.
We'll see. Jacob's in the house. Michael Sanford's in the house. Aaron with Catfish Regulators. What's going on?
Howdy.
It's Mr. Chad, Fields to Water. What a show you guys had. Holy cow. Hopefully your lips don't get chapped from sucking on that nipple. The bottle. I'm going to go back and take a screen recording of that because
before it gets gone. Before it gets gone. Okay, I dropped the link. We'll get to that here in a little bit. We'll go ahead and pin it. And you don't have to show yourself on camera when you're talking, but I have to
Please
be able
don't show yourself.
You don't have to show your face.
We've seen that.
when you get up here, but when you're backstage, I have to be able to see you to make sure you are who you're supposed to be.
So that you're not showing yourself.
Showing yourself.
We don't want more of those.
Isn't that a shame you have to be like that?
How come it's only men that do that? I've never been to a live stream where the woman's like, "Wow!"
We have more sense.
I don't know about that. I'll leave that alone.
I'll let you know when I get on Mardi Gras. That's what they're known for there.
Well, what in the world?
I'm not going to tell my flathead story because I'm supposed to be on Real Beast and I'm supposed to tell it there. So I'm going to hold my flathead tonight. Roger? Hey, let's talk about who's on screen with us.
Who's on first? Everybody knows who I am. They are sick of me. I don't know why you asked me to come on here.
But
you're like,
who's that below us?
Well, he's
that
been
is somebody. Yeah. He's been working chat.
That's right.
That's Fishing Local 252. You want to tell us a little bit of your name?
Yourself.
I'm fishing local 252. I fish North Carolina. And I fish for all fish. But I love to catfish.
I don't blame you there. What's your real name? So we like to be on first name basis.
John.
There we go. John it is.
Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
What's that?
It's a Barney song. You never heard it?
I didn't even catch what you said.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Nope. Never heard it. Nope. We got Yak Shore Adventures in the house. Clayton, the fishing nut. Let's see. Apache Adventures.
Apache. Howdy.
They're tuning in. They're coming in. They're going. Let's see.
Yeah, we got, I think, 23 in. That's quite a few for just a few minutes. Oh,
Yeah.
Paul said that song was before Barney. I thought Barney made that up.
See?
Learn something every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
I'm working on I found trying to find a better picture, but I found a picture for my Flathead story.
Okay.
LG Bass is in the house. Quiet Man Curtis.
Looky
What's up,
there.
Tom?
Get it, John. Work that chat. Yeah, sure. Every day he's a shuffling. Did you see that question on catfish regulators? His name's Aaron. He wants to know what part of North Carolina you're in.
All right, we got the River Warriors out here today. We got
Shut that down.
I am Nashville, North Carolina.
So there's your answer, Aaron. Nashville, North Carolina. I'm close to Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. Clayton the fishing nut knows that song. Its name was my name.
Southern Wildfins in the house.
Howdy do.
I'm trying to get him to come up on panel so he can introduce himself.
There's a link at the top of the page under live chat. You just got to click it.
All right, I figured mine out. This is an embarrassing story, but
Excellent.
we'll go.
You
I
want
didn't realize
solo?
No, I don't want a solo.
Okay.
When I give you the cue, you can bring the picture up. It's in the basement. I got a
Okay,
picture
we'll
there.
try.
We don't want to. I don't want to bring that up just yet.
As soon as I get there.
As soon as you what?
As soon as I get back at North or Chattanooga, we'll go fishing.
Oh.
When the weather
Rico
calms
came
down.
in.
Rico. All right.
I'm itching to be fishing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Everything here is a hot mess. Our river is going up 30 feet. Well, it's already started to rise, but from yesterday until Saturday afternoon, it's going to jump 30 feet.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that sucks. So there'll be no real fishing going on. I mean, we can go out there and maybe catch a couple, but when it shoots up like that, they go into instinct mode. At least for a few days, they're not going to be feeding. And the debris and all that crap's going to make a hot mess. So it's not going to be worth messing with. But for me, one of the most memorable flatheads that I got to talk about is my very first flathead. And at the time, I was fishing for those maybe a few of you in chat know of Paint Creek in Ohio. It's one of the longest creeks in Ohio. But our property used to butt up against it, and I used to go down there and throw chicken liver and pantyhose and all that stuff. And sit there and catch channel cats and whatever I could. And I started catching. My dad's buddy gave me a minnow trap, and I started setting a minnow trap in our creek, and I caught some chubs. I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna use chubs, and I was catching just as many channel cats or more on the chubs, and then I caught a flathead. Now I'm about 12 or 13 years old in this picture, and it's not glamorous, but I was tickled to death to catch this fish. Now, I think it may be still the only flathead I've ever kept in my life. Then I was catching them and eating them. I catch small eater-sized channel cats. When I caught this flathead, I said I'm going to take him in because he ain't all that big. You'll see when we bring the picture up here. But
you ready?
Yeah, I can embarrass myself a little bit. Look at that dorky soul there.
Oh, he was definitely happy.
Yeah. So yeah, we got here. I can take my face off there. So you can see I got a couple little channel cats there on the stringer, and I don't know how big that flathead is. He ain't much, 8, 10 pounds, 12 maybe. I don't know. And then look at that guy.
Yeah. Looks good.
Huh?
That was the good old days.
Yep.
The good old days back there. Didn't have a care in the world.
Nope. Sitting on the bank. Got my little tackle box down there. Camping out on the creek. Had a little campfire going. Thought I was king of the hill.
Yep.
But that flathead, that picture right there is what got me hooked onto catching bigger fish. I caught that fish and had my dad take the picture of this, and we showed it to his buddy who also fished the same creek. And and his buddy would stop by after this. He said, I didn't know Roger liked catfish. He would stop by and he kept everything, back then that's what they did. They caught them and ate them. Yeah. He'd stop by the house and show off 40, 50, 60 pounders. I'm like, what? You're catching that in the same water I'm fishing?
Yeah.
And, so then the hunt went on. And cause I was king of the hill that day. Smile on my face couldn't be wiped off with a SOS pad. But
nope.
Yeah, that's my flathead story. After that, I wanted to catch more flatheads and bigger flatheads, and that's been my mission since then, was to catch bigger fish. And so dorky old kid right there got hooked right on there. That fish hooked me. That's it.
Yeah. That's all it takes.
Anybody else has got embarrassing pictures, don't be afraid to throw them up there.
Yeah. You got a story you want to tell? 252?
Check the basement.
Check the basement. Danny Stone, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping in. Annette Morgan, if we didn't catch you.
First.
336. Oh.
It's already begun.
That did not take long.
I didn't know that was in the basement.
Woo, Jody, I just want to say thank you for sending this to Chad. I love you.
I wondered when he was doing that, did he not realize whose hands he was putting that into?
No script.
I'm sure by the time this is over, there'll be a label on the side of that bottle.
That was great. That was great.
It was pretty good.
You drank the whole bottle.
He's probably drinking it right now.
It'll be an every show.
No, he's right there.
Yeah, he's right there watching us beside us.
Look at him.
Oh, he's
He's
watching.
got my bottle.
He done. Poor Chad. Everybody wants to pick on him.
Yeah.
Oh, I just
That's a
wanted to
lie.
come up and say
90%
that.
of that's self-inflicted.
I just had to come up and show this picture. I'm gonna jump back and chat, and I'll be back once I get these kids to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right.
That's what's
I'll
awesome
drop the
about
link. Yeah. Everybody's friends. Even though we kid and go on and take jabs, we're still friends at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see how good of a
Or-
sport Chad's got the bottle there in chat. He's a good sport. We all
Uh-huh.
know it's fun. Some new people, just jumping in may not understand it, and
Yeah.
I've heard of people getting upset or offended, like why are you picking on him like that, or anybody, in general. That's just how
Yeah.
we are. We're like a big
If we're
family.
picking on somebody, we like them. We're friends if we're picking on somebody. So
Yeah. So John, you said that you've been watching channels and hanging back and checking everybody out for quite a while. And so what made you decide to step out of the shadows and into the light?
Be honest with you, it was my personal best I caught this year.
Gotcha. So you decided to put a video out?
Yeah, but I was fishing on a kayak, and videoing yourself on a kayak is not that easy.
I can imagine.
The fish was 54 pounds. And
that's a great fish.
Yeah. And like I told before, my kayak, not an expensive kayak. It was just a starter kayak, little Sun Dolphin kayak. And when you hook something that big, there's no way that you're going to pull that 54-pound fish into the kayak with yourself. So I had to go to the bank and weigh the fish. And I'm not sure how you put your picture in the basement.
At the bottom of the screen there, the screen we're on, it says share. A little screen, and it'll say share screen. Do you have another monitor?
No.
Second monitor? I don't know if it'll work. I've got a second monitor here, so that's how I was able to do it.
If you send it to me, then I can send it to Roger, and he can do it.
Or you could do that. Because Jody doesn't have a second screen either. I don't think she can share a screen. I'm on a laptop, and I've got a secondary screen here. But fishing with the squirrels in the house. And
Howdy.
Miss Chrissy Brown is in the house. Obviously, Haz is here. Chad has gone to bed. He had his one bottle. D burped him real good. He's done.
Night, night. Oh. Yep, he'll never live that one down.
James says, I make it a point to pick on Chad. Got to have a little.
I sent it to you, Roger.
You sent it to me?
I sent you the pic. Yep.
All right, let me get that open.
Hey, Smoke. How you doing tonight? Steve Mosley.
Oh, that's a good fish.
Goldgrass. All right, you want to start your story again?
Yep, your picture's in the basement.
Yeah, I just recently moved back to this area. I've been here probably a year now, and when I first moved back, I was targeting, just channel cats, and I was doing okay on channel cats. I was just using chicken livers. And a buddy of mine that I fish with, he told me just, start using live brim and cut brim. So I switched over to live brim and cut brim, and then I started targeting flatheads. First one I caught was 32 pounds.
That's a great way to start.
Yep.
And then I caught 20, another 32, a couple in the teens, a 49, and that 54. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah. So what kind of fight does it give you in a kayak?
It's hard to explain because the river at that point was real low. You could go upriver, and the river was 4 or 5 foot deep, But in that hole, it was 17 foot. But if you go downriver, it was only 2 or 3 foot.
Yeah.
So I know the fish were stacked in that hole. And I bought a Garmin Striker 4X and put on the kayak. There's my buddy.
What's up? Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
All right. Fishing
I'm
Local
really-
2x2 wanted me to join y'all, so I figured I'd join for a minute.
Who are you?
Okay.
Where are you from?
So what now?
So introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What you fishing?
My name's Adam. I'm from North Carolina, and I love the catfish, man.
You're in the
I
right
fish
place.
all kinds of fish, though, man, like bass, brim, crappie, blackfish, jacks, perch, pretty much anything. But, man, I love to catch flatheads, man. That's what I'm all about. That's flathead fishing.
There you're in the right place then.
Mhm.
Flathead
Yeah.
Jody. She's queen of the flatheads. Look, her shirt done said so.
Adam,
Yeah,
are you on your phone?
yeah, I am.
I was going to see if you'd send a picture to me of your big fish.
No.
If he wants to, he can back out while you finish telling your story and send it.
Yeah, back out real quick, Adam, and send me a picture of your big fish. And then when we bring you back up on cam, they'll be able to show you a big fish.
All right, give me 1 second then.
Yeah.
While these
All right,
guys,
you can finish your story.
yep, finish your story.
Let's see.
Or was you done? I didn't.
He was in
Oh,
2 feet of water and had a big hole that he's down in.
Oh yeah, I knew the fish were stacked in that hole, and I fished a lot, but I've never really used fish finders and stuff like that. So I bought a Garmin Striker 4X, and I'm trying to get the hang of that.
Okay.
But
I got you.
I've seen Roger and everybody trying to help Jody out.
I will. I'm not an expert by any means whatsoever. I've got a lot of experience with a lot of different units. I've got Garmin myself. I've got a Humminbird Helix 7 on the boat. I've got a Lowrance TI 7 on the boat. So I've got all 3 major name brands on my boat. I got 4 fish finders on my boat. So I'm not great at any of them, but I'm okay with all of them. But
Yeah,
if
you're knowledgeable.
if anybody needs help, I'm more than willing to at least give my thoughts and opinions. But there's a lot of great YouTube channels out there that break down each individual unit in more detail. But I just, in real time, I ain't nothing I love more than watching the fish finder, man. I get a big kick out of cruising and just running stuff until I find something that looks primo, and then that's where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody asked earlier about our flatheads, our PB flatheads, and my PB flathead I caught in the middle of the spawn when everybody said they ain't catching squat, and it was in the middle of the day when it was 1:30 in the afternoon, 1:30 or 1:15. It was cut shad. Most people say you got to use live bait. So here I am, and it was high water. It was, it was rolling pretty good. So I was in high, muddy water in June in the heat of the day with cut shad, and I catch a 55.3 pound flathead. Jody can throw it up there for a second if she wants to.
Okay.
Picture's not great because it doesn't show the whole daggone thing. My buddy that took the picture at the time, it was super bright and sunny. He couldn't really see his phone or camera, but that gives you a pretty good idea.
It's as wide as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was big.
That's awesome.
That's my PB right there for flathead. And of course, most of you
Yeah.
guys know what my PB is for blue, but we're talking flatheads. But that's it right
Yeah.
there. That's the one to beat. This year, my goal was to beat that. My blue cat would be hard to beat, and I'm happy with my PB for blue cats right now. But I want to increase my flathead numbers. But yeah, that was a fun day.
Yeah, that's one heck of a fish.
If I can, as we continue, I'll try to find the. So what I'm fishing here in this picture is an island. So the river's coming down, and it kind of makes a little bit of a bend, and there's a small island that cuts off, and it has a secondary channel that goes out and around. On the inside bend of the outside of that secondary channel, there's piles of trees all the way down it. I mean, just one after another, one after another. And the strategy that we were doing was we would set up in front of one brush pile, we'd throw our baits back to it, and then we would just hopscotch. When we decide to move, we just take our boat and hop around behind that pile and throw the next pile, and then move around and hop to the next pile. And eventually we got on the fish. I don't know if I still have the picture from that place, but we call it Flathead Paradise because it's just full of good fish.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what happened.
So are you going to fish Jody's Flathead Challenge this year?
If it starts in March, it's going to be hard for me. I probably can.
End of March.
End of March.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to get into it.
If I started on the 31st, which is the last day of March, then that should open it up to where a lot of people can catch flatheads.
Yeah, the Canal River down here, it doesn't seem to matter what time of year it is. The Canal River will give you some flatheads.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question in chat.
What you got?
Yeah, sure. Last year I did a 7-week challenge to see how it would go. That way I wouldn't be tied into it long term, and just to try it out because I was new at things also. But I call it a challenge. It wasn't a tournament or anything like that. It's a game. It didn't because I caught flatheads, and people, it's a game to see if they could beat me in the flathead tournament, the flathead challenge. And the way it was set up was flatheads, I think, was 3 points per pound, and everything else was 1 point per pound. That way, if you caught a blue or a channel, it still counted. But, we want you to catch a flathead, but we still allowed you to use your blues and your channels. They just weren't worth as many points. And the points was by pound. So, and we had some rules and stuff, but it was kind of hard to keep with everything going on. This year, there are not going to be as many rules. If you want more people on your boat, the more the merrier for me. If you want 2 or 3 people on the same bank fishing with you, that's fine with me. I don't care. I just want everybody to have a good time and hang out.
Yeah.
That's what fishing's about. You shouldn't have all these rules and stuff. Like I said, it's a game. There's no prizes. It's bragging rights and a fun time.
Yep.
So
there was a question before that too, Jody.
Okay.
Catfish Fever Outdoors says, how big do you guys think flatheads get?
I don't think we know.
And that's a hard answer. That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
Just because we've caught them, whatever the record is on flathead. And I to be honest, I don't know what the record is, 100 and something pounds. But to me, there's no reason a flathead couldn't just continue to grow, get to the same size as blues.
Yeah.
I think there's bigger flatheads out there than what we've ever caught. They just may be, elusive, or maybe at a certain point they may go to an area or go into certain conditions that we just don't just typically target the flatheads in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that any of that to be true. It's just a theory, but I think flatheads are a lot bigger than what we've caught. I think there's potential for much larger fish.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the North Carolina record is 78 pounds for flathead. And Adam would know more about that than I would.
I think the Illinois record's
78
73 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
Actually,
this conversation.
Hello, Mark. Catfish and Crappie. Thanks for coming up.
What's up, Mark?
Hey, Jody, what's going on? Sorry, I'm
We've just
late.
been talking. That's okay. We've just been talking about flatheads a little bit. We got a couple of new ones up on screen with us. You want to introduce yourself to Mark?
What's going on, Mark? Fishing
What's
local
going on,
252.
fellas?
Hey, Mark. I'm Roger with Muskrat Adventures. Nice to
Pleased
meet
to
you.
meet you, Roger. Where you fish,
What's up,
bud?
Catfish Robbie?
I fish anywhere I can.
Amen.
If somebody's got an extra couch, I'll fish there.
I just looked it up, and the Illinois state record is 81.4 pounds. That's crazy. I know the Fox River record's 72 point something record, but I don't see me catching that. I'd love to. I was blessed with the one fish that I did get my PB on the river, so I can't complain there. Flathead are pretty darn elusive, and I definitely have flathead fever. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm getting it real bad, man.
yeah, once it gets a hold of you, it becomes an obsession. It really does.
Yeah.
Lose a couple of them too, and it just makes them worse because I've lost some dizzies. I lost one last year that was pretty darn big, and I'm not gonna take a guess at that weight because might be called a liar, but in my head, I kind of think it was that weight. So
That's me. I think the one I lost was, dare I say, 80. It was a whopper.
I get
know it was a flathead.
I get so nervous about that stuff that my PB flathead, I'm almost positive weighed more than what I'm calling it, but I figure I'll go with the low end of the scale swing just to be safe and try to avoid being called a liar, but I still get called a liar about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I do my big ones anyway. I don't even my big blue. It's 78. Maybe it was 79.7. It was 78. That's good enough.
That's a big fish.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about a couple ounces at that point. That's freaking awesome.
I call mine right on the money at 57.12. So we'll keep it at that. And I could go chunky style and say it was a 58 or a 60, but we'll go 57.12. And I'm pretty proud of that fish. And it was a doozy, and it was an unexpected catch. I had been up for 24 hours working. My mind was racing. I'm sitting at home at like midnight, 1 a.m. I think I shared this story on Patriot James show yesterday. And I just couldn't get to sleep. I'm like, well, might as well go fishing. Packed up the boat, headed out, launched it over at the local launch, went maybe literally, I don't know, maybe a mile upriver from there. Put baits in the water, and an hour later, I had my PB. It was a pretty surreal evening. Caught him on a 5-aught hook and a little 2-inch square, a shad. I was just planning on catching some channel cats that night, but I ended up getting it all on video, and I was pretty grateful for that. What I didn't show in that video is that it was a good night fishing. I ended up with like 30 channel cats after that. I fished until like 9 a.m. And I was so shocked when I caught that fish and I got it on the scale that I turned off my cameras and just kind of took it easy the rest of the night. And I'm sorry I did. But that was a good day. I even got some smallmouth on cut bait. That was kind of surprising. I got 2 little dink smallies on there.
When y'all weigh a fish, do y'all weigh it with a digital scale, or do you weigh it with like an analog scale?
I weigh it with I got a whisker seeker scale in the boat. They kind of swing, but I've had that scale for a while. Every year I make sure I got fresh batteries in it, and I weigh it with a 10-pound dumbbell just to make sure my weights are on.
That's the exact same thing I do, man. I got a 10-pound dumbbell that I use for an anchor for my little John boat, and that's how I take and put on my scale to make sure it's good.
Yeah, close enough for government
I don't
work
use
as far as
digital scale though. I use one of those analog ones with just the little arrow, you know what I'm talking about?
They work. You can get them to study too. So as long as you're getting a good weight when you're checking it, you're good. Make sure you're not banging it up or anything, because scales, I don't care what anybody says, scales are pretty touchy pieces of
Yeah, they
equipment,
are.
whether they're analog or digital. There's stuff in there, springs and stuff that can get
Yep.
stretched and stuff like that. So I make a habit of checking it every season, and if that doesn't line up with what I think is going to work, it will. Yeah, I see everybody using those.
Yep.
I've got one of those too now.
Now, have you checked the accuracy on those?
Yep, it's right on.
I had one of them Amazon ones, and I broke like 3 of them, so I quit buying them. Not those, but like the cheaper $11 ones. They would give me good weights, but they ended up breaking every year as soon as you bumped it into something.
My whisker seeker got wet and quit immediately. It didn't just
Really?
get wet; it got dumped.
They're waterproof in their float, I thought. No,
Mine didn't even. Mine was in the live well. I got a toolbox live well, and this was fishing for freedom. And I've got a valve, a switch on the side of my boat where I can change it to bring in fresh water, kick out, or recirculate. And I had it on empty, so that was a free flowing line into because I didn't have a check valve on it, so the water was coming in, filling up the live well. I had my tackle bag in there with the fish finder. There was only about 3 inches of water in there. And my whisker seeker got wet, and that was it. And
was it at the bottom of your tackle bag holding it underwater?
It was probably under.
Yeah, I had I've dropped mine in the water, and I can testify that they do float, and it still worked afterwards. So I guess long-term soak probably isn't good for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know if I'm underwater for too long, I wrinkle too. So
yeah, I wouldn't work very good either.
That's James. That's a heck of a largemouth, bud.
All right, Adam, you want to introduce yourself now?
So what? Now it's hard for me to hear for some reason.
You want to introduce yourself now?
My name's Adam, and
tell your
I'm from
story.
North Carolina, and I got a channel. It's called Southern Wildfin, where I try to teach people how to catfish, to not spend a whole lot of money to get out to fish, and where you don't have to have like $100,000 or anything, to get out to fish, and where you can catch big fish with little to nothing. And like I said earlier, whenever I was up here, I said my favorite type of fishing is flathead catfishing. But I definitely fish for anything. But whenever I got hooked into flathead catfishing, whenever I caught a big one, whenever I was little, I caught it off of brim. It was a baby brim that I caught it off of. I didn't even mean to catch it. And man, ever since, I've just been kind of hooked on catfishing, man. But like I said, I still get out there. I still catch me a crappie. I like crappie fishing, bass fishing, brim fishing, catching perch, chain pickerels. But in my area, we call them jacks and bowfin, and we call them blackfish around here. But man, I just love fishing all the way around, man.
Bowfin are fun to catch. I caught my first one last year, and I'm thinking I'll go after them again if I can get some time. But something about them destroying
it. You got to watch them now.
Yeah, they did. I was fishing for crappie of all thing, and I got one on an Aberdeen hook. Here's the story about my bowfin story. It was one of my bucket list fish. I traveled like 2 hours away down south, fished where the Kankakee and the Illinois River meet in the backwaters there. It was like 110 degrees that day. We got skunked. I was so upset. 2 weeks later, the temperatures drop. The water level's low in our river right here close to home. I'm out there scouting for crappie with minnows and Aberdeen hooks. And what do you know? I catch my first bowfin right by the freaking house. And it destroyed that little Aberdeen hook. I was like, holy smokes. It bent it into a U shape. And it turns out for the river, it was a pretty decent size. I think it was like 7 pounds almost.
Now, that's a pretty big one right there, man.
6.2. It was a good one. But it was a fun fish to catch. I'll be right back, guys. I got my dog ringing the doorbell. Sorry, Jody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jody,
all
right.
Like he was talking about, man, they some prehistoric fish. They've been around for a long, long time.
Jody, did you get
Adam, you
like a
want
big
to
old like a bone up there, man. It's like a big old plate. Man, tough. And the males,
252, what you needing?
like the fins, they change colors, which is pretty cool. It's like green.
Did you get Adam's picture?
Yeah, it's in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
That picture I sent, fishing local 252.
Yep, I got it. There it is.
Hey, yeah.
That's a good fish.
I don't know how much that flathead right there weighed or anything. I know I caught it by myself on my little 12-foot John boat. I threw him back.
It looks pretty healthy.
Oh, it was pretty big. It was give or take 50 pounds or more, but I just caught him and I threw him back. Every fish that I catch that's like a trophy sized fish, I try to tell people to throw them back and not keep them, to give an opportunity to next generation and other people that can catch them. And I caught that fish right there off the brim right there. Piece of cut bait.
That's a sweet fish right there.
Yeah, it is. You pulling the Lee Evans and eating.
What's a Lee Evans?
Every time he goes off screen, he comes back eating something.
Oh, I got bacon in the kitchen. No kid, no joke. I'll go show you if you want me to.
Mark's been eating bacon all day.
Oh, I'm telling you, I do low carb, so bacon's one of the things that I really enjoy. And I don't eat I eat it quite a bit, but not as much as you would think. So, like I made 1.5 pounds this morning. I'll have it for 2 days.
1.5 pounds of bacon wouldn't last me 30 minutes.
No. You quit eating carbs, you kind of don't have room to eat too much for some reason. But that's another show. That's for Steve Douglas's new channel, maybe.
Mark,
Okay.
are you in the challenge with everybody else?
Which challenge?
No,
Jody's?
the weight loss challenge.
Oh no, I am not in that. I got a lot going on. I got my March Madness going on in March, and then I got a crappie tournament I'm holding in April. So I'm going to be pretty darn busy, and I'm also going to help Josh probably host that. So,
when's your date in April for your crappie tournament?
I'm not quite sure yet. I'm waiting for some heavy hitters to get back to me because I want to make sure they can make it. We may be getting SK crappie catching on there and a couple of other guys. So I'm also trying to work out, and I meant to post this on my community tab. We're trying to figure out what's going to be more of a challenge and fair at the same time, whether we're going to do a 9-inch minimum or a 10-inch minimum, and figure it out from there. So I got a couple people in Texas. Yeah, we got a couple boys in Texas, guys in Texas that are interested, and they'll get on some big ones down there for sure. So
absolutely, it'd be fun to watch, but I'm not competing against them.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be a shorter tournament. It's not going to be like 6 hours or anything. So I'm trying to figure out what time period it's going to be for. So.
In y'all's area, what's the legal size limit for a crappie?
It depends. It's all water specific, man. The one place that I fish mostly, it's 9 inches, and then the river is none, and the chain is no limit on size or creel. So it's pretty challenging. We have 10 million people here in the Chicago area, so not that they all fish, but a good percentage of them do. So the pressure is there. I can get on them. I can't get on like James Dockery numbers and stuff. And every now and then I'll come across a big one. Like one of my crappie holes is about a mile walk out onto the ice. And a friend of mine just got a 4-pounder 2 weeks ago out there. So I may be making the walk out there this weekend, but we'll see. So
in our area, it's 8 inches for legal size to keep.
8 inches, yeah. There's a couple places. Now, don't quote me. I think LaSalle out here in Illinois, it's not just a reservoir. It's a power plant lake. I think that's 8 inches. I could be mistaken though.
Yeah,
almost all of Ohio is 9 inches,
and we can keep 30 of them.
30 of them. Okay, it's 15 and 9 on that one, and you said it's 8 inches for most of Ohio.
Most of Ohio is 9 inches.
9 inches. Okay.
Creel limit's usually 30. Now on the rivers and stuff, there's no limit, but
yeah, I wonder why rivers seem to be that way, at least in Illinois. None of the rivers have any crappie limits or creel limits. I guess there's no way of them knowing.
Even the creeks here do the same, like Paint Creek when you was down. I don't know if you fished Paint Creek or if you guys went to Rocky Fork.
No, we did. Paint that's over by Betty's. Wherever you fished during the
that's Paint.
Paint. Yeah, I went there fishing with her.
So So on the lake, it's 9 inches, but below the spillway there's no limit.
There's no limit. Okay.
What about catfish in y'all's area? Is it the same way? Do y'all got like
We
a limit?
have a
Like,
slot limit on the.
how big it is?
We have a slot limit on the river for flatheads, which is the best thing they've done. It's 2 under 24 and 1 over. We got over and under. So that's in the last 4 years, our sizes have gone up considerably. All our fish were always in like the 20-pound range. Last year, I caught a lot of 30s, more than usual. So I think it's definitely positive. Anywhere else, you can bow fish for catfish here in Illinois, which is a mistake, but you can do it. But thankfully, some of the local clubs got in on the fox and got those slot limits, not only on flatheads, but on smallmouth, and it's paid, tenfold back. Definitely. We got a really great smallmouth fishery here. Also, if you go south, there's good muskie population on the river too, and you don't hear too much of that on rivers. Well, at least I don't. So, but I have some guys that do pretty well on the river.
In the area I live in, man, a flathead is actually an invasive species,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have no kind of nothing about them.
Well,
Like,
hopefully,
I guess you can keep them if they're this big, or you can keep them if they're this big. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's no type of limit or anything on it.
some places encourage you keep them, which I don't know. I would have to sit down with a biologist to figure out exactly why those rules are in place, and whether or not the powers that be are looking to line their pocketbooks from lobbyists or other organizations, or if there's an actual reason for that. For the longest time, they said snakehead were going to go and destroy bass populations, and that turned out to be not true.
Yeah, because
But,
snakeheads are invasive in a lot of places, ain't they?
Yeah, every place. It's not. I don't think it's native. And James Dockery would be the guy to talk to about this, not me. But
Oh, okay.
the little bit I know about them is they're evasive everywhere in the United States. The carp were evasive someday, but they were assimilated, and now we just deal with them. Asian carp are a different story. I don't know what's going to happen 50 years down the road with them, but I'm pretty sure they're here to stay. Wouldn't you guys agree? They're not. They've tried everything to get rid of them, and you can't.
We don't have any kind. We don't have no Asian carp in our area.
Yeah, if I go like 2 hours south, I can start finding them. But other than that, I don't have them up north here. I'm blessed. So
We've got them. They're not. People have caught them here in Ohio because they've been saying forever that we don't have any, but somebody just caught one. It was like 50 or 60 pounds, and they're here. They're just not as thickly populated as everyone else.
the first ones I saw down on the Mississippi when I was down there on the Kaskaskia for Avid's meet and greet, I forgot they were down there. They were little guys. They're maybe like 3-4 pounders, but they scared the bejesus out of me. And then we went to try and catch them, and we couldn't catch them in a net. It was kind of funny. I think I got a video of it somewhere here. I need to dig out.
Ain't the Asian carp? Ain't they the ones that, like, when you go past on a boat, they're like come up?
Yeah,
out
they
the water?
launch themselves out of the water. Yeah.
No.
Hey, I want to say hi to Catfish Curtis, who's
Wow, man, they
Yeah.
got smacked in the
Wait,
face.
patiently.
Hey, Curtis.
What's up, Curtis?
How you
Buddy,
doing?
how you doing?
What's going on, Curtis?
Hey,
Everybody's been wondering about you.
what's going on,
Tell
everybody?
us about
Good to
it.
see everybody back in the shows.
Mhm.
Hey, I've been incognito, working on
Yeah.
some other things. Nothing much, but just sitting back. Our catfishing stuff is done pretty much until probably end of February, March, maybe. But actually, the weather is prime right now for me to. I'm actually sitting in the car right at one of my spots, just waiting for the tide to come in, so I can throw out some Jello chicken and see if I can get on something tonight.
Now you'd
That'd be
mentioned
awesome.
tide. How far away from brackish water are you? Since you mentioned tide, I'm always curious because I've never fished a tidal watershed.
I'm right now. I'm just below the Philadelphia International Airport.
Okay.
I would say it's probably miles away before I really hit anything like that. But we're only, this is the Delaware River that I'm fishing on. I'm about to fish on, and it's probably 4 or 5 miles, 6 miles away from the ocean.
Cool. So how often do you get saltwater
But
fish
this
up
is,
there?
I mean, where I normally fish for the Flathead Challenge, we have stripers coming in here, all the way up to Delaware, all the way up until, going, 20, 30 miles up. I mean, it's consistent. There's been dolphins up here, whales, stuff like that come in the Delaware River.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
They make their mark up here once in a while.
Now, as far as the frozen
cool.
bait,
it's this place is. What's that?
oh, I think he froze. Hi, Kaz. How you doing? We had that question about frozen bait. My PB Flathead was caught on frozen bait that was like 6 months old. I'm not even joking. As long as it stays firm. Yeah, as long as it stays firm, you're okay. It's not as good as fresh bait. Fresh bait always is better. Always is better. But if you don't have it, it works in a pinch.
I was gonna say that same thing. If you don't have fresh bait, frozen bait will work.
Bobcat.
I bring frozen with me every visit. Every trip I take frozen in case I can't catch fresh.
When my live bait dies, it goes in the freezer when I get home.
Yep.
I don't do any of that. I go out with zero bait. If I don't catch it fresh, I don't get a fish.
Sucks for you. I'm not taking that risk. I'm going with frozen bait.
That's how important it is. That's how important it is to me. It's got to be fresh, and if I can't get it fresh, I don't get a fish. So,
you ever go out and not catch bait, Roger?
No.
I have. That's why I keep frozen baits.
We've struggled. I don't want to make it sound like I can go out there and just get right on them, but we've struggled.
Bobcat.
We're going to start the challenge.
Yeah, we got in Pennsylvania.
I got a question on screen from Steve Douglas. We're going to start it the last Thursday in March, and we're going to run it all summer, every Thursday night. Anybody who wants to play is more than welcome. You just got to send me an email or a personal
he's
message.
not allowed to fish.
Well, yes, he is allowed to fish.
That's the truth about online fishing tournaments is some people have better waters than the others. It's just something you want to deal with. Go in them trying to have fun. That's the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically everyone against Jody.
Basically, that's what it was set up. Everybody was supposed to try and beat me with the Flathead.
We lost Curtis. I think he's having connection problems.
Yeah. But it's all in fun. Like I said, there's no prizes or nothing. We're just meeting together, having a good time, and fishing.
Didn't you mention in Chad's show there that you was thinking about doing an actual tournaments of some sort?
I want to do a real tournament for Flathead with the prize on a weekend.
There you go.
And I want to do it maybe a whole day. However long you can hang.
24-hour?
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
That way,
I've never entered in.
Everybody has different time zones.
Ever.
Yeah.
And some people like to fish of a day, some people like to fish of a night. And that way, there'll be more people in there fishing also, if you want to schedule a certain time.
I ain't going to lie. My boat ain't comfortable enough to be in it for 24 hours. I've done pretty darn close, but I've paid the price at my age. I wake up a wreck after I go home.
Yeah.
We could do variations. It's just a thought, but I'm going to fish of a night.
But
I wouldn't be in it. It'd be my tournament, so I won't be fishing. But we'll take suggestions and ideas, do a little poll about it, and see what people want to do. That Flatheads are a night fish for me.
Yeah,
Let me
if around
that off the screen.
We got 71 people in chat.
Hey,
Heck yeah.
thank you for watching.
I guess I better hit that thumbs up, and you people
That's
out
right.
there in chat also too. There we go.
We got we got 53 thumbs up. We can even that out a little bit.
71 people in chat.
Oh, we got an echo somewhere.
I guess I better hit that thumbs up, and you people out there in chat also too. There we go.
Wait a minute. We got 53 thumbs up. We can.
Who's got a device? Second device on?
Not me.
Not me. It has to be one of the rookies.
It ain't me.
Lyle the dinosaur is always picking on me. You see that, Jody?
I'll fish the weekly tournament, the weekly game, but if I do a tournament, I won't fish it.
Yeah, it's hard to fish and host at the same time.
Steve brings up a valid point. He says his flatheads don't start biting until April in my new neck of the woods. Yeah, we're lucky halfway through April if we get one or two on the river, so I can relate to that definitely.
Yeah, April's about the start of ours as well. Now we've got the Canal River here that kicks out some flatheads, surprisingly all year. You can catch them now. Very difficult. You may not catch but one, but that river is crazy. I don't know what it is about that river that allows it to get the flatheads active almost all year, but we can get them out of there. They're just not real consistent this time.
Hey, Yak, is the lag and the echo gone away now?
I don't hear it.
He'll write in chat if it is.
I haven't heard it since you turned it off.
We got Miss Calls in the house. She got a story to tell about a flathead that she just caught.
Story?
Hey, everybody. Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I can finally join the Flathead Club, so I had to jump up here and tell you guys. If you didn't see it, I went fishing with Trophy Seekers Outdoors, Daryl. And he took me to a flathead spot. And we'd been fishing all day, or we'd started fishing, baited fish, came up and fished. And he's like, well, I'm going to throw this one right over here, right up against the wall, real close. And sure enough, out came a flathead. And he ended up being 6 pounds. But he was so beautiful. The markings on him, I didn't realize how beautiful they were until I actually held one. And they really, the one that I had in my hand was absolutely beautiful. It was a beautiful fish. But I got a taste, and now I want more.
That's what happened.
That's how my story was tonight too.
Nothing makes you want to fish for flathead like not catching flathead after you've had that taste. That just fuels you even more.
Yeah, I fished for them all this past summer, and I know there's flathead there because I've seen other fishermen pull them out beside me. So I know they're there. I just did not get one. So I'm definitely going to be on the hunt for places that I can get to until I can get my kayak. But once I get my kayak, you're not going to be able to stop me.
They're fun in a kayak for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Scooter are out there on the water.
I'm going to stay in my boat.
Yep.
Is that only fish?
Hey, Curtis, did you get to tell the story?
Was that me?
Yeah. Did you get to finish yours?
I don't have any stories about fishing. Everybody's seen all my stories. They're on your channel.
We have a lot of new people. No, we have a lot of new people in.
I mean,
I remember a story of when you lost because you didn't check your line after time was up.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. You fish all night. You
I'll take
try
the
your
win.
best. You try your best, and you're doing your thing, and time's up at the end of the night, and everyone starts to reel in the rod, and you just sit there and you don't really do anything, and next thing you know, it's like 10 minutes after, and you got yourself a 22-pound flathead on your line for probably a few minutes, and it basically cost you the entire tournament. So yeah, that was something. Go if everybody's in here, go check out Jody's. I think it's the second or third week of the challenge.
Yeah, at the end of the stream. Just go to the end of the stream where everybody's all, having a great time. Jody's the winner. She's the queen. And next thing you know, fish on. What? Fish on? Who's got a fish now? Yeah, that was me.
You had a couple
I hate it when I win.
Yeah, right. You're just as competitive as anybody. G-Style Fishing had a question up there. If you want to throw it up, he's had a question that says, when you're looking at your fish finder, do catfish ever be high up on the water column, or are they always near the bottom? And I'll share my experience, and then I'll let the others go. They're usually near the bottom, but that doesn't mean they're always near the bottom. I've been in 40+ foot of water. This is on Hoover, Mark, and 40-some foot of water. And I kept marking fish around 8 to 10 feet deep. And we had bait around 6 feet deep. And we kept marking bait and kept marking these fish. And I was like, man, I got to figure out what's going on. So I dropped a planer board and I suspended my bait about 8 feet under the planer board and sent it out. And I don't think the line ever got tight. It was blue cat. Wham! Took it down. I was like, what is blue cat doing in 8 feet from the surface in 40-some foot of water?
Yep.
Then we put another line out and it went down. And we started catching blues at 8 feet deep in 40, I think it was 42 or 43 foot of water then. And
Did you
kind of changed my mind. What's that, Mark?
Did you mark any bait in that at that area of the water column?
Yeah. We was marking bait at 6 feet, and the catfish were at 8 feet.
Yep.
And between 8 and 10. And the fish will go where the bait is. We've all seen them pop in the top of the water, and even out in the river, you'll see them roll and carry on. But wherever that bait is, that's where they're going to be.
Yeah, and I only asked that because let me answer, give my input on that question, and then I'm going to bow out here. My waters again are shallow, so I don't see very many fish mid-water column. So I look for structure. I look for bait because I can see that. Also, when I'm anchored up, side scan. I can tell a flathead from a carp on side scan while standing still because they're feeding, especially at night. If they come by you moving, and if your river has current, you'll be able to see them. So don't think that side scan doesn't work when you're anchored up. Just learn how to read it. And the more you look at it, the more you understand what's going on. Keep your eyes and ears, keep your ears open for what's going on in the water, and your eyes on your sonar, and you'd be surprised what you'd see.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
I look for bait and I look for structure basically when I'm on the move, picking my spots. If I can't see it above water, I'm fishing whatever structure's underneath it. So plain and simple, keep it simple, stupid. I tell myself that. All the time. You do that, you stick to what I call, textbook tactics. You're going to do okay. Don't worry about the high level stuff and unless you're just trying to spread your wings a little more. If you're just looking to get on the fish, like causes, stick to the textbook stuff. And structure's your friend with flatheads. So, and bait.
Yeah,
he's 100% right. The only thing I do different, of course, on my Garmin's, the scroll speed automatically adjusts. That's one of the things I love most about Garmin. But for those of you that run Humminbird and Lowrance, you want to, if you're sitting still, you want to slow your scroll speed all the way down. Otherwise, the only thing you're going to see on your screen is these big solid lines. And that's because the scroll speed's still going at a higher rate of speed, but your fish aren't, and you aren't. So instead of making a mark that you could see, and you'll just end up with all these, long lines.
You'll still see them even with the Garmin, but you'll see that fish on top of those long lines.
Right.
If you see it once or twice, you'll know exactly what you're looking at. You can't mistake it. A flathead looks like a railroad spike on side scan when you're standing still. And a carp looks like a cigar. With rolled up ends. I don't know how else to explain it. That's what I'm noticing. It looks like a cigar. I was going to say the other thing, but we're not going there. So
yeah.
Anyways, guys, thank you for having me up here, Jody. I'm going to bow out. So if somebody else wants to come up here, I'll be in chat. If you guys need anything, anybody in chat, you guys know how to get a hold of me. Have a great one. Thanks for letting me up here.
Take care, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, Jody,
Hey,
I think I'm going
Curtis?
to do the same. I'm going to make some room for
Okay.
some other folks to hop up here, and I've had plenty of time. So thanks for letting me come up and play around for a little bit.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'll be in
Later,
chat.
Roger.
See you guys.
Later on. Hey.
Bye. I think we got Yak up here.
Hey. Yeah, I
How
just
you
came to
doing?
talk about. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. I've come to talk about the story of the world's smallest flathead catfish ever caught.
Okay, let's hear
My
it.
my PB is smaller than the height of a $20 bill. I caught it while I was
Really?
crappie fishing, and it is
Wow.
the smallest catfish I've ever seen, smallest one ever landed, and is the only flathead I've ever caught.
Did you keep it?
No,
I would
let
put
it
it in an
let it go.
aquarium. I would have loved to
Well,
have had it as
if it wasn't for the fact that it would have ate everything in my fish tank, I would have considered it. But it's also I think, illegal in the state I live in. So, because
Yeah.
I believe the keeping of sport fish is illegal in the state of Tennessee. I'm not 100% on that, but that was the impression I was under. But yeah, so for those who haven't met me, I'm Anthony from Yak Shore. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I just came to talk about that story quick. I'll get off here and let somebody else steal the show because
Well,
I
wait a
really have no
minute.
input. What's up?
Wait just a minute. That's
Okay.
the only one you've caught, right?
Mhm.
That's, okay. And you're friends with Bobcat also, right?
Yep.
Heidi, nice to meet you.
Howdy.
It's nice to meet you too. Absolutely.
Yeah, nice to meet you,
And
Anthony.
what's your Anthony from Yak Shore Fishing, correct?
Yeah, sure, outdoors. But yeah.
Yak Shore
Same
Outdoors.
thing.
Okay, I'll show you your link here in a minute.
Okay. But yeah, I've been with Bob and with Daryl both. They're from Trophy Seekers, and they both caught flathead in front of me. But I've never had one while I was with them. So hopefully that'll
Yeah.
change this year.
Well, I got
Well,
lucky.
this summer, you know, you're only a little over an hour away from me. You come down to my waters and we'll hook up to catch some big old flatheads.
Good to me. But yeah, I'll get
Okay.
off here. Let some of you big boys and girls take over. And thanks for
Oh,
having
yeah.
me.
Thanks. Hey, Curtis. Somebody wanted to hear the wedding ring story.
What's that?
Somebody wanted to hear about the wedding ring. Okay,
Oh
flathead story.
man. Well, funny you say that. I'm actually at the exact spot that this is the little park that I fish for channel cats. And so what we did is it was a rainy night, and I ended up rainy and cold. And I'm sitting there, and I caught a fish, and then next thing you know, I go back into the channel, or go back because I'm walking away, and all of a sudden, like I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, man, something doesn't feel right, and sure enough, I end up losing my wedding ring, and it's there's leaves all over the ground, and it's fall, October, November, somewhere around there, and next thing you know, and all of a sudden it becomes this big spectacle. It's like, where's Waldo? Let's find Curtis's ring. And I'd have to give a shout out to all the guys who were actually in the chat at the time and on screen, and they were willing and ready to help me out and send people down with metal detectors. I thought I lost it in the water, and there's mud everywhere down below this area. And it was a good 10, 15 minutes or something like that. And next thing you know, I looked down after about that time, and it was literally right next to my rods. And it's a black ring, and you can't really see this in the dark. I mean, it's it's done. It's long gone. If it, so, and it's tungsten. So if it falls in the water, I'm never going to see it again. And sure enough, we had a great time, a bunch of laughs, and some serious times. But good thing is we found it, and it was a good feeling. My wife had a little laugh on it. She was happy that I didn't lose it, and that was pretty much it for that one. That was something. Yeah, I got some stories, some fun stories. But most of the stories are they're right on your channel. I mean,
I know.
Flathead, with the Flathead challenge that you put out there, for that 7 weeks was probably some of the most entertaining times I've ever had, and it led me to stay with the whole catfishing thing, and I'm gonna definitely continue to fish for more catfish, and I'm excited about the spring season because I didn't get a chance to get any of the spawn, any of the migration of the flatheads, and I'm itching right now to catch a catfish, or just a flathead, because I know there's some big monsters where I fish, and I'm excited to sit out there again and be with everybody.
Yes. We've been missing you. I've been telling everybody where you've been. They still been missing you though, and I'm like, he's taking care of real business. He'll be back fishing when it's time.
Yeah, I got my real estate license in early December, and it really, I had to focus on that, and it's something that is starting to manifest, which is a really good sign. And I'm really excited about everything that's going to come with that. But taking those Friday nights, doing my Friday night flatheads down on the Schuylkill River in Pennsylvania, that's going to be a staple, along with your flathead challenge, and I'm gonna hit it hard. I scouted a bunch of new spots, so I'm excited to see what happens with those spots. Different baits that I'm gonna try. It's gonna be a whole learning experience from the time I start flathead fishing till back until September again, where I knew exactly what I was doing. I know I was doing the right things. So now it's gonna be all trials.
Well, that's the fun part, trying new things and seeing if they work or not.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm gonna try to catch channel cats. I mean, there's a slim chance. I don't even know if they're even gonna be in here. I mean, even if there's an eel, I'll be happy to catch an eel or something like that. That'll be pretty cool. I've caught some eels here, but I've caught some pretty big channel cats here. I mean, between 5 and 10 pounds, and that's my Pennsylvania fishing is a lot different than any other places, like those big rivers and everything. So it's kind of it's really, I would say it's tough, just because it's there's limited amount of fish here. So
exactly.
But they're starting to really pick up. The bigger flatheads are starting to grow. People aren't keeping them. That's one thing around here is we don't really keep too many of our catfish anyway. So especially the flatheads, because most people they're not even targeting flatheads. They'll keep the channel cats, and there's channel cats everywhere around here. That's like a normal thing for us. It's not hard to find channel cats anywhere in any river or any stream that we have around here.
Well, it's good catching up with you. I'm glad you come up.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'll stay. I mean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get set up and everything, and see what happens. I'll stay in the chat, just because I want to hang out. I mean, I'll go behind the scenes for a little bit, and then if I get on something, I'll pop back in.
Okay, that'd be fun.
All right. It was nice talking to everybody, and I'm excited for the end of March.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait.
This is gonna be good. What's that?
You want in the first week?
Oh, come on. I want every week. I'm set to. I want to get close to the state record. That's my goal is getting this close to the state record, because the thing is that a lot of these guys that are getting these big flatheads, they're on boats, and they're
Yeah.
not doing. And I want to catch it from the bank, and I want to see what the rods can handle. I want to do it live, and I want to be. I want people to see that Pennsylvania has really good fishing. I mean, we have the Susquehanna, which is huge, but no one really
Mhm.
knows about the Schuylkill and even like the Delaware River up by Easton. I got a friend, Blake, the one Flathead Challenge. I was up there. I mean, he's got big flatheads up there too. So there's going to be times that I might even be up there.
Okay.
All right, so
But
I'm
that's
gonna
not good.
get set up, and I'll see if I can get on some fish for you.
Okay. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna read through chat just a little bit. Say hello to some people. We got Uncle Lou. Howdy do, Uncle Lou. Don R. Chuck Fry. He said them Johnsonville's sausages is just up the road from him. Then we got Muskrat back down in chat. Catfish and Crappie. Howdy do. Yak Shore Outdoors. He was just up here. Catfish Gin, Kentucky Outdoors. I've not met him yet. I've not talked to him. Bank Fishing Adventures. Hello. Down East Tackle. We've been seeing him around a lot lately. Then we got Skull Rush. Hi. Freddy's Outdoor Adventures. Hey, Freddy's. Old Mechanic. Hello. Avid, how are you tonight? You been flexing any more muscles?
We lost Cos.
She'll jump back up when she's ready. Tinkerbell, hello. Nice to see you out tonight. It's All Mine, Michelle. Chuck Fry, Quiet Man Curtis. I think I didn't say Don R., but he's Cos's #1 fan. Bobcat, I think he's done headed out. Wait for short, though. And let's see if we, Van. Loose Sashwell. Anyone here crappie fish? He loves crappie and walleye. There's a lot of people here who does the crappie fishing. Catfish Fever and Outdoors. Big Skip Fishing. And Cali Bear. Lance McCouga. And I think that's about it. I think I got everybody. Oh, Pork Chop. I see him right there. And if you want to come up Pork Chop, you have to click the link up at the top. If it don't work, let me know and I'll drop it again. Then we got Danny Stone Outdoors. Danny Boy. There's somebody. Probably Cause. Nope. It's Adam back. Hello. Yeah. Hey, Brian B.
It's working, Adam, but it's just real low.
Is it?
I can hear you fine now. I mean, it comes in loud and clear, and then it breaks up a little bit.
I don't know. Everything is like messing up right now for me. I don't know why.
I would turn my camera on, Jody, but I don't think y'all want to see me eating.
You're eating now. Hey, LG. How you tonight?
Brian B ain't got no Flathead story to tell.
I'm not sure if he's caught flatheads in his water. Fishing chick. What's going on? Nothing much. If anybody wants to jump up and tell a story, I'll drop the link right here. And I'll try to help Adam with his phone. When you click the volume, does it pop up? You got a Samsung or an Apple, first of all?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
It's a Samsung.
Okay. When you click the side of it and your volume goes up, it's got a little skinny tube that shows up. And at the top of it, it's like 3 little buttons. If you hit that, then it's going to pop up 3 more buttons, 3 more little volumes, and you'll slide them all the way up and see if that don't help your volume.
All right, what about now?
Try
I can hear you.
See if I can hear you if you can.
I can. It's like I can barely hear y'all for some reason.
You're louder now than you was.
Yep.
Am I?
Yeah.
You may be talking louder, but I don't know.
No, I ain't talking louder.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking louder or anything. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Bugman. And I don't know what Mark's wrote. Probably going to get me in trouble. Brian, but Catty Bear. Yeah, I'm sure it was something I shouldn't put up because my Chris laughing. Okay. Anybody else got another story they want to tell? I really don't want to tell mine because I'm going to tell it Monday on a different show. So I don't want to. I don't think that's fair.
I think everybody's heard your story.
Nope, they've not. Rarely tell it. I don't know if I've even actually. I've only told it one time.
Adam, when did
I
you
tell the
plan on
story of
going
the
back
one I lost. I tell the one of I lost more than I tell anything. Oh, tell them what show? It's Real Beasts, Magic Pat. He hosts it. And let's see what day. Does it come on Monday or Tuesday, Roger?
Monday.
I think it comes on Tuesday. Monday. And what time does it come on?
Monster Monday.
Monster Monday, correct. You're right on it. Hey, Van, how you doing?
Uncle Lou.
Yeah. I can't wait to catch one on my Uncle Lou pole. I'm going to see how it does. Roger says Monday at 7.
You haven't caught a flathead on an Uncle Lou rod yet?
I just got them right before Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah. I've only caught one flathead since Christmas, and it was a small one. And I did catch it on the Uncle Lou pole. I think I caught it on a big cat fever. Let's see. G-Style has a question. Read it to me, John.
What's the longest time you've ever fished for?
Oh, how long have I spent fishing?
Yeah. Well, what's the longest time you've fished for?
I don't know. Is he asking how many hours I've fished?
Yeah, I guess on a single trip. What's the longest hours you've fished?
Close to 48 hours.
Wow.
That's a long time.
It is.
I did stop and go to a gas station, get cleaned up, and went in Ruby Tuesday and then went back because it's a day. I don't fish during the day, and there was a bunch of bass boats, so I stopped and I went, cleaned up, and went in, had a good meal, and come back out and went back to fishing.
Is my
There's
mic
Dana.
still
Hey,
working?
Dana. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah. And, we've got some more people. We've got some more people in chat. If you want to introduce yourselves one more time where they can get to know you.
Introduce yourself, Adam.
Adam, go for it, Adam.
Well, my name's Adam, and I'm from North Carolina, and I love the catfish. But I'll pretty much catfish for anything. I mean, I catfish for anything. I pretty much fish for anything, though. It doesn't matter if it's a bass, brim, whatever. I'll fish for anything, even a little bitty minnow. It doesn't matter, as long as there's a fish.
One little bit of info. That 4-letter B word. A lot of people don't like that word.
What was it? Brim?
Ditch pickles.
Oh, bass? Yeah. They call them ditch pickles here, but I catch bass. I don't try to, but I catch them. Okay. Here comes one of my good buddies. Hey, Danny boy.
Hey, what's going on? Come here just to stir up a stink if I could or whatever.
Okay.
Anyway,
Let's let John introduce himself, then we'll let you steal the show.
Who, me? No, I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, let's
now.
let John.
Hello, everyone. My name is John. I'm a fishing local 252, and I love to catfish. I fish North Carolina waters.
Ta-da! There you go.
Ta-da!
Danny, you got your volume up too loud on something.
Well, hold on. Let me turn it down here.
Or you got two devices playing.
No, well, you know what? I probably got my hearing aids in because they connect to the phone too.
That's exactly what it is.
There's an echo. Hold on a second.
You see what Roger wrote?
Is it about me?
Yeah.
There went the show.
No, I ain't seen it.
He said there went the show. Did you come up?
You got
Uncle
it.
Luzu goes, yeah.
How's it sound now? Am I too loud?
No, it sounds good.
Well, I just
But no, I
stopped
can
yelling.
still hear you.
All I did was stop yelling.
Uncle Lou's got your comment.
I'm gonna leave that one for you, Cody.
Oh, good Lord. Come on now. That's all right. I'm going to show them boys something this year.
Yeah. Hey, Don R.
Hey, Danny, I'm following you around.
Oh, come on now.
Checking on you.
Hey, me and Don's got a rivalry going. I'm watching you, Don.
Not really, but you made it fun.
Yeah, Don. Are you scared yet, Don?
Nah.
Hey, Bex.
Hey, I did a shout out to you though. I don't know if you're watching her there or not, but tell you how much I respect you, brother.
Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome. I picked on them other boys pretty hard, but I showed you a little respect.
Black Beauty's looking good.
I know it, man. I mean, she ain't no Uncle Lou, Rod, but I love her. She's been good to me.
Happy birthday, Bexy.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
Yeah, today's my wife's birthday too, and I've been on YouTube all day long, and she come by and say, "Are you forgetting something?" And I go, "I don't think so." And then it finally dawned on me. I didn't get too much trouble. So, hey, you're starting the Flathead tournament when at the end of May?
The end of March, last day of March.
End of March.
Yeah.
Oh crap! That's next month then.
Yeah, it is. It's coming up.
Well, I only got to get in one last year. Matter of fact, I got in the very last week. But I'll try to get into to a few more of them this year. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pull no Catfish Curtis or Mike's Fishing Home Time on it, but I can try.
Oh, we're gonna play all summer.
Yeah, didn't Curtis and Mike fish in almost every week?
They was the only two to do it.
Yep. See, my memory works a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Nice one, Roger.
Not catching any channel kip fit. Channels in April. Jody wouldn't take our channel catfish challenge.
I just don't catch them.
No, not she does mostly flatheads and blues where she's at.
That's why I challenged her. She's not one to bet against. I figured this way I could bet against her.
I'm just reading chat, and I ain't saying half the stuff they're gonna say. They're saying
Thursday nights again. Yep. And I may do once a month on the weekend for people who can't do Thursday night. I might just do that if nobody else has anything going on. We'll
well,
see how it works out. It'll be scheduled out though.
I can do some Thursday nights. I can't do all of them because Thursday night's tough for me.
Jody says she can outfish you. Do you want to challenge her in a
I
channel
don't.
catfish?
I don't challenge Jody in nothing. And Don, I don't know how long you've been around to know Jody, but I hope you learned that lesson the hard way.
I hope he does too.
I love you to death, brother. But you know what? I think that'd probably be a good lesson for you to learn. Just go against Jody one
Yeah.
time. I dare you.
I love her,
I'm
man.
not gonna-
She's just a great person.
And Catfish Jim,
I'm going
you
to go.
enjoyed the show.
Let's go get some of
Catfish
these
Jim
younger
enjoyed my
people.
show Sunday, I think. Yeah. Go ahead, Jody. I'm sorry for stepping on you.
Oh, you're fine. I said I'm just going to get some of these younger people in here for some of the bets because the older ones won't bet no more.
Everybody's got too smart for you.
Yeah, I'm not that dumb, Jody.
Well,
Your friend might be.
I'm struggling right now. I got 4 days off from work and I can't go fishing because my truck's in the body shop.
That
So that's
sucks.
killing me. I have time off, and I don't care if it's sleet, snow, and everything. I was going to go anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, don't take no bets from Jody.
He's a man. He can answer for himself.
What's that?
I can barely hear anything. I've been sitting here trying to figure out why I can't hear anything.
Oh gosh. Hello, Mr. Duggar. Nice to see you. Danny, have you got a story about a flathead to tell?
Well, my only good flathead story, and it's the best flathead I ever caught, was actually when they were watching me fish this past weekend doing live. That spot right there is where I caught that flathead. But I put my John boat in on the Mississippi River there at New Madrid, and I don't fish from the boat, but I'll use my boat to get to spots that people can't get to and bank fish there. And I was heading up the Mississippi River, and it's only about 300 or 400 yards upstream. And a big Asian carp jumped in my boat and was flopping around and just beating everything all to pieces. But I pulled up on this little island, this point, and tied the boat up, and I cut a chunk of that carp off. And I mean, it was a big chunk of carp, and I put it on a 10-aught hook and threw it out there and was fixing to put the rod in the rod holder, and the rod went. I mean, the drag started peeling on it. I mean, just ripping. And it was before that carp even hit the ground on the bottom on it. And that video for that fish is on my channel. It's called Danny Stone versus Big Flathead. That's the one I'm talking about. That thing bit a chunk of Asian carp before it hit the bottom. And the video is on my channel for that fish. I do not have a weight on that fish, so I don't know what my PB is on a flathead. But that was my biggest flathead right there. But I didn't have scales with me. But I mean, you look at it and you judge it. I don't put a size on it or a weight. I'll let people look at it and they tell me what they think it weighs. And I say, you know what? I'll go along with that. Because some of them gets way bigger than I would have. But the very first video I ever put on YouTube was the fight with that fish right there. And it's 4 years ago, but it's Danny Stone versus Big Flathead on my channel. That's my biggest flathead. And it was just so cool that carp jumped in my boat. I took that carp, cut a chunk off of him, threw it out, and boom. Don't tell me flathead won't eat a piece of carp, because that one did. That's my best flathead story.
Well, that's a good one.
Yep.
How big was it, you think now?
I ain't guessing, because I'm just like, you know what? I'm like Mark. Mark says, I'll throw the pictures up there and you be the judge yourself, because every time I've tried to guess, people would say, you're guessing too high or you're guessing too low, because I'm not good at eyeballing fish. I'm not.
Flatheads are made different. And if you don't catch them and handle them, then they really don't know People are gonna look at them, but they really don't know what they're talking about if they don't really catch them and handle them.
Yeah, I don't like to get into if that's why I carry scales now with me 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have a scale on it, it just turns into a debate, and that takes the fun out of it for me. You know, the other flathead story I had, if you watch my intro to my channel, you've seen the one where I took off running at the rod and I fell down and fall on the rocks.
Yeah.
That was a little bit old 2-pound flathead that did that to me.
You hurt yourself, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I cut my elbow open all the way to the bone and still reeled that fish in. But that
Yeah.
rod pulled over that log, and don't tell me the flatheads can't pull, because you watch the video, that rod come over that log and went flying toward the river, and I jumped to grab it and fell and hurt myself, but it was reeled up. But that was a flathead I reeled in, and he weighed just about 2.5 pounds. Is all that fish weighed, and he pulled that rod like he weighed 50 pounds.
Yeah. That's what they'll do. They'll bury down. Has a comment. We were talking earlier about this little competition, most fished for 3 months that was over 20 pounds. I'm still open to that.
Yeah, as long as it's in warmer weather.
I think
when
we're
they
going to do
found
May, June, July.
Oh yeah, I'd be up for that.
So we'll just have to.
I mean, here's the thing, man. Say what you will, but the Potomac boys are going to be hard to beat on numbers of fish in that weight range. They pull a lot of 20 and 30 pounders out of there.
They're hard to beat on less than 20s.
Oh, is it? I thought I know I've seen Has pull in a bunch of 20 pounders, but I can hit 20 pounders on a regular basis on the river when it's the right temperature.
Yeah, we don't have a bet right now. We've not really agreed on anything yet.
And is he throwing that just at you, or is he trying to throw that at a bunch of people?
Well, it was me, Brian, and Has, but
okay,
I don't know.
Well, so that puts the Potomac. That doubles up the Potomac, and you're fishing like Watts Bar and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 Potomac people against 1 Watts Bar. I think we need to throw some Mississippi River and some other stuff in there too.
It's 2 individual.
They're doing them separately. They're not tag teaming you.
Nope.
Well, you're still going up against each one of them, whether it be one at a time or not.
I ain't scared.
Well, I know you ain't. If I shut up, it's because I'm trying to read chat because I read real slow.
Yeah, I brought it to us on the TV. Don, you caught a flathead before?
We don't have any flatheads up here. All we have is channels.
Yep, I remember you saying that.
This year, I hope when I go up to the hatchery that I can continue my pursuit on reestablishing the blue cats and stuff up in this area. But there's a lot of resistance because blue cats aren't considered game fish, so they don't want to mess with it. But they're native to the river up here because it is the Missouri River. But I envy you guys going out and catching these big cats. The North Dakota state record, I think, is 41 pounds something for a channel cat. And it was caught at a local farm pond. So I kind of question that. So my goal this year is to be able to beat that. Through all your guys' help, I've identified a lot of good areas to go and check out. And I never thought about using bigger baits. we always used night crawlers and caught eaters, and that's most people. That's all the more they want up here, but they got to be
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Jody, I
Well,
think you're being called out.
that
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one right now. I'm like, you know what, Jody? I'll tell you what. You ought to be flattered because every time somebody wants to challenge somebody, seems like they're
mm-hmm.
coming after you. That ought to tell you something right there. You know,
Yeah, but
you don't go.
he got up there and said he only caught a 2-pound flathead. That wouldn't be fair.
Well, but then he's sitting there saying right now he's the new guy and he has to try a 1v1 against you.
Yeah. Come at me when the bat's here. Right now, my bat's not here. I can't even get to him. I'll let you do the weekly challenge. See how you're doing it.
Hello.
Hey, pork chop, what are you doing? I can hear you TV.
All right, hold on a minute.
What are you watching?
Ricky
The Hallmark Channel?
Yep. Yep. You always want to use cut bait, Mr. Nate.
I never
I'm from
thought
Tennessee
about
too.
using it either.
You know, we need to make a Tennessee group chat for all those Tennessee people where we meet each other and talk to each other. So anybody who's from Tennessee fishing, let's get together on Facebook, make a Facebook message group for just Tennessee.
Well, there.
Well. Hey, I thought you didn't take it up for you.
Just go straight. Well, we just gonna be a bunch of Tennessee people up in here. Hey, just remember, there's certain spots on the Mississippi River where I can throw across there and hit Tennessee.
Uh-huh. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. I've put in on the Missouri side, fished on the Tennessee side, I fished on the Kentucky side, and all that within just a few miles of each other.
Let's see if I can get him added. There you go, Haz.
Oh, Lord.
Good night, Haz.
How you doing? You got a story about a flathead?
I think he's muted. Haz, are you
Let's
muted?
see.
I see your mouth moving.
I'll have to move him to a different window.
I can see his mouth moving, but I don't hear that coming out.
Mute. Unmute. No, he must be muted on his side.
I think so.
Well, Jody, I'm going to drop out so other people can come up, and I'm still going to be listening. And I'm going to be keeping a close eye on Danny.
You better.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it, Don.
Well, Don, since you're out there listening, I'm going to be doing a lot of fishing coming up real soon. You're going to see more of me than you want to, I promise.
He probably had to go back out and fix his audio and then come back. I have to do it sometime. Yeah. I guess I've just got a couple little stories. I've tripled up a few times with flatheads.
Seriously. Well, if I had 24 poles hanging off the back of a pontoon, I would too.
I had 6 on the front and 4 off the back. And
I watched the video today. You didn't have but 3 poles out.
Oh, that was when I did the women's tournament.
Yeah.
I think.
Give us a shout now, Haz. Can we hear you now?
I can hear you now. Can y'all hear me?
You're good, brother. You're good. We got you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
My son was in here messing around and push buttons he wasn't supposed to turn my mic off.
Oh, blame it on the kid. Always blame it on the kid.
We gotta fix now. We gotta fix now.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a story of a flathead. I don't know if Jody, can you share pictures? I guess you can if I add it to the.
If you can add it, I can share them.
Yeah, don't bring it up yet. I'm gonna add it though. Just don't bring it up yet.
See, that's what I was going to ask you because, I mean, maybe I haven't watched enough videos and stuff, but I can't right now think of any time I've seen anybody pulling flatheads out of the Potomac.
Well, the Flathead King could pull him out of anywhere.
He didn't say he was in the Potomac when he caught it now.
But do you have a shirt that says it?
I got one that says catfish.
He gonna cover all of them with one shirt.
But it does have a flathead on it though. Well, there you go.
Look at the chat.
That's a flathead.
Chat. Team, great job.
So I think it was my first weekend tournament. I don't know if it was an 8-hour or a 24-hour kayak tournament. And I was suspending my baits, doing my normal, like I would do drift as I go to my, my spots that I like to fish at first thing in the morning. And I had cut eel on my down rods and was just suspend drifting down river, and I hook into a fish. It's fighting a little, I know it's not that big of a fish, but it's fighting a little different though. Then I pull up and boom, lo and behold, I pulled out my very first ever flathead that I caught on the Potomac River. And I've been fishing that section so many times and never caught a flathead. And then about a month later, I caught another one a little bit smaller than the first one I caught. But yeah, we had flathead population is on the Potomac. It's more prevalent above the dam than below the dam, but we do have them above and below the dam. But if you want to go ahead and show everybody that beast of a flathead sitting right there. Look at that sweet puppy.
Yeah. Sweet puppy. So now that was your first flathead, that one?
That was my very first flathead ever.
You know what? When you catch your first one, you don't care how big it is.
I don't care. Yeah.
You don't care. You don't care. Just like I finally got one. Now
I finally got one. My goal before I left the Potomac to go. Now we have the Susquehanna River, like 2 hours north of me, or maybe an hour and a half, which it has some monster flatheads in there. But I didn't want to go fishing for them until I caught something on my own body water first. I was like, I gotta get a flathead first on my body water before I can start traveling and trying to catch flatheads elsewhere. So now I got that out the way. Now I am going to be targeting flatheads more this year.
And you're a lot like me because I pull up blue cats. You catch them consistently. I mean, on a regular basis. That's the majority of the fish you catch. And we get quite a few channels. But there's something really cool about it when you hook up and you realize it's a flathead. Even though you could have caught, catch them like every other week or whatever, but every time you hook into a flathead, there's something special about it.
Absolutely. And I wasn't even live at the time. I just had my GoPro recording when I was getting to the spot, and I was ecstatic too. I was more excited about catching that little fish right there than the 62 that I caught, the blue catfish, because it's like such a rare catch, and I catch so many blues on the Potomac, and then to finally get a flathead. I was definitely ecstatic. Like I said, I caught over 700 blues last year and only 2 flatheads and probably about 15 channel cats. So it's predominantly, the Potomac River is predominantly blue catfish you're going to catch.
Well, I mean, because that's the majority of what I catch, the coolest thing for me to catch. I mean, what I like catching the most is the blue cats because it's the easiest catch. But the coolest fish to catch is a flathead, with hands down.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the type of fisherman that I am, I always look for the next challenge. Like blue catfish, there's still challenges that I want to get to, and I'm still learning that. But I don't like to just do one thing. I like to do multiple things. So I was learning to, fish out of kayak and target blues last year. This year, I'm going to be adding flatheads to that to go out there and target and get on flatheads a lot more. So I'm definitely going to look forward to that.
Well, with me, I've gotten so comfortable on the bank. I mean, I've been debating it back and forth for the past few weeks, wondering if I'm going to bring the boat out this year. And I might take the boat out this year. I haven't had the boat out in almost 3 years. I've just gotten so comfortable on the bank, man. I just go there and just relax.
See, I'm bank fishing right now just because it's wintertime and I can't use the kayak. The water's too cold, but I love, fishing out of that kayak that I have. I love fishing out of it more than the boat that I have. It's relaxing, it's calm, and it's a lot easier to maneuver and get around, and I'm a lot more effective, at catching fish. But whatever is your most comfort zone, then go with it. Bank fishing is relaxing. You can't, you're sitting there, you got it, you're set up, you're sitting there waiting on a bite, maybe light a fire, cook some food, you're chilling, relaxing. Lynn, hats doesn't take stickers off the hats. They stay on all my hats. All my hats, I keep the sticker on. This is another one. I got a bunch of hats over there. I have to keep the sticker on.
Is it just me, or is the audio really garbled right now?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, well, maybe it's been on my side then.
Where those little fishes was, the smaller ones, there's some bigger ones there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is. There definitely is for sure. But I want to do no Jody catfish flathead challenge on that section of the river because the odds of me catching one, I got a better chance of winning the lottery than catching a flathead.
Here's the thing though, Jody, on your flathead challenge, all 3 species of catfish count. It's just the flatheads are worth more points, right?
Yeah, but I tried to throw him out a different one today.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You flipped the script on him.
Yep.
Yeah, during Lee Evans, I was trying to.
Jody always tries to catch me lacking, but I don't know. Too smart for that.
Nope.
I did you a favor. Then try to set.
Look, it's an even match. 20. We cut all the Brian B. Dinkins fish out of it. It's fish over 20 pounds. Only sweet doggies has fish. That's it, right there.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only thing that counts.
I'm fine with that.
And Danny, to answer your question, I am open because this thing is me and Jody would just cook something up. I'm open to having more people get involved in it. We're still figuring this thing out. I threw Brian in it. I don't even know if he wants to be. I don't know if Brian can hang.
Man, taking him down with you.
Yeah.
But one thing that they will have to be caught on YouTube. That way we know, like a YouTube or recording, whatever, however it is, that would people be able to know, everybody be able to go back and look and see. That's what I'm going to be doing. Like on all my lives, if I go live, I'll put like the timestamps to all the fish over 20 pounds, and then like in my videos too as well. People will know. That way, keep it fair, keep it honest. I know it's hard to keep track of fish, for a 3-month period. Danny, you're keeping track of pounds, right, this year?
Yeah. I'm trying to hit 2,022 pounds this year. And to do that, I have to catch 168.5 pounds every month. And for the month of January so far, I need 168.5 pounds. I've got 177 and 62. So I'm over on January already. And that's all with small channel cat and 1 blue cat. And the average fish that I caught weighed 3.5 pounds out of 45 fish. That's
well, Tim,
Go
I
ahead.
mean, that's awesome, Dan. To set a goal like that, I hope you definitely accomplish it. And
Well, that's the thing. When those big blues start biting,
yeah,
man, I'm gonna get to lay back because man, you start pulling in 20, 30 pounders,
yeah,
man, you can get your quota for the month in one day. You
yeah.
know?
I think 2,000 pounds. I think you're going to double that. I think
Oh,
you'll
I
double
believe so
that.
too. But you know,
You'll
it was
double
just
that.
a cool thing to do because you know, I
Yeah,
kind of stole the idea from Tom from LG Bass. You know, he was wanting to do 365 fish, and a
yeah.
couple other people talked about, you know, they were going to do that too. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do the same thing. So
Hmm.
I want to try to catch a ton of fish in the year 2022.
Yeah.
But
And then
I don't think I'll have any trouble doing it.
that's kind of where I got the you know, I've been keeping track of the sweet dogs, the fish over 20 pounds that I caught so far this year. And that's one thing I'm trying to keep track of throughout the whole year and see how many. I'm not gonna keep track of all the fish I catch because that's way too
No,
many
just
fish
the
to
sweet
try to-
doggies. That's
Yeah,
cool, man.
just fish over 20 pounds. That's it. I want to
There
keep
you
track
go.
of that.
I'll be
So
interested to see that number at the end of the year too. That's gonna be awesome.
yeah, so far we're at 3 fish so far this year,
Yeah. And
over
that's
20 pounds.
for the month of January.
Yep, that's in the month of January. Caught a couple 22s and a 26 in the month of January. And also got my brother my first trip out. Got my brother on his PBs 25 and 35 pounds to start the year. But I didn't count those fish because you know he caught them, he reeled them in.
Right,
So
right,
those are
right.
big fish.
But what I like about it, what I'm discovering already is that any one of us, you know, because we don't really keep track of it on a daily basis and keep it logged in there and you know, total it up. I don't think any of us have any idea of how many fish we actually catch, and I think we'll shock ourselves when you start keeping track of it.
Yeah.
You know, because you can look back and go, "Holy cow! I didn't realize I caught that many." I mean, it
Yeah.
just amazes me.
And Tim, to answer your question, we don't have the rules set yet. First, they got to get their team together. It looks like you know, Freddie's flip-flopping. He may be joining team no script, so I don't know. Chad's got to get his team together. I don't see no script. We got an alliance built strong. Can't nobody break that down. But I don't know what Chad got going on in his camp. But we'll see. We'll see. So first he has to get his team together, and then we can get the rules together.
What is he? Has he got people jumping ship already?
Yep.
Yeah. He got people jumping ship already. We got but we have a date set for the tournament, so it's April 30th. So we got a date penciled in already for the tournament.
Hey, Brian, check your private messenger.
Oh, Stan 3 was the one that was flip-flopping on us there for a little bit. I was like, oh man.
Oh man, that surprised me. He was.
Yeah, Stan 3 surprised, but you know, Adrian Murillo, you know, reached out to him and you know, we good. Stan 3's good.
Slap him straight.
Stan didn't get to see the comments that I was putting in chat, but I said when he put up the sign and he was holding up Team Bait Shop, I was like, oh man, Stan 3 is the worst angler on the East Coast. He's my least favorite angler. He dropped below Chunky. He even dropped below Chunky. But you know, he went and recanted his statement, and you know, he's team no script, so you know,
Okay.
he's all right in my book for now.
Yeah, I'm saying y'all still keep an eye on him though, right? You're kind of looking out the corner of your eye watching him.
He's on a short leash. He's on a very short leash.
Let's just say he got muzzled.
Tim said he might have to send Chad $5K to hire a pro.
Yeah, there's gonna be some guy pop up on the bait shop some night that we've never heard of, nobody's ever seen. And they come to find out that he's like a commercial fisherman somewhere. I got them all in nets.
So Jody, what are your goals this year for fishing?
My goal is to get new PB. That's my biggest goal there is. And to go fish some different waters, fish with some friends, and and just have a good time and spend more time fishing.
Yeah.
I plan on spending weekends on the water,
Every
not
weekend.
just a night, but the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be fishing a lot. New PBs in Channel Cat and new PB and Flathead are the goal. A blue, it would definitely be nice, but it's not easy to go out there and find a fish over 60 pounds, but it would definitely be nice.
They're out there though.
Are you going to break Brian's PB?
Brian said, yeah, that's a goal of mine, to get the biggest fish on the Potomac River that has been seen in many, many, many years. The DC record, there is none, it's vacant, but the Maryland record is 84 pounds, and the Virginia record is it's whatever was caught on curve, like 144. So the Virginia record is out the question, but we can maybe be able to touch that Maryland record though, 84 pounds.
It's been a long time ago because, man, I was a teenager when I was in the Army. And, man, I was actually stationed at Aberdeen, Maryland for a while. And, man, I used to go out there on Chesapeake Bay. And I never really learned much about that area in there. How far are those places I'm talking about from where you guys are at?
Aberdeen, that's about 45, 50 minutes from me.
Okay. Well, I know we used to go out there and we come off the base and you can charter a boat, but they'd mostly take you out striper fishing on Chesapeake Bay and stuff.
Yeah. There's striper fishing is that's what Maryland's known for,
Yeah.
Pork chop. You got an echo.
Yep.
But yeah, striper, Maryland, that's Maryland state fish is striper. That's their pride and joy. That's their money maker, striper. So that's what Maryland's most popular for. They got the Chesapeake Bay right there.
Yeah.
So all the charters, they all focus their energy on the Chesapeake Bay. You literally have no charters on the Potomac River for catfish at all.
Yeah, I went on just about every other weekend. I'd go to a charter out there in Chesapeake Bay. Man, I had a blast out there. I had a good time.
The bad thing about it is they got so strict with the rules and stuff, like when you can and can't fish for them. The opening season doesn't start until May 1st, which is like, if you know anything about striper, they like the cold weather. So by the time May gets around here, they've already moved up to Maine. So you don't get those trophy, stripers. You can't even try to catch them.
Yeah. Well, I was there in 1986. I was there in 1986. The summer of 1986 is when I was there.
Now is that better?
1986?
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. I was 18 years old in 1986 out there.
Yeah, the 1986, the blue cat population was really starting to kick off.
Yeah.
Do I still got an echo?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't write the name down. I don't know who you're talking about.
Got to go back out and pop back in. Are those ocean stripers? I mean, they do. You have stripers that stay in the Potomac River all year round, but then you have those schooling stripers, those big boys. Those are ocean. They're traveling up. They're traveling up to Maine. So as the water temps cool down, they travel down south, and then they come back up as the water temps warm back up. They go back up north. And they get massive.
Oh yes! Oh my God, man, we were landing. I think the biggest one I ever caught, which is not even close to the biggest one they get. I think I caught one was like a little over 30 pounds. But man, there was guys down on a regular basis that was getting them over 40 easy. Them stripers down there are huge. We get a striper run up the Mississippi River, and it's usually it's in I think the late part of this month and early part of March. and there's guys that go out there specifically to fish for them. But they fish they take the boats out and fish around the wing dams and the wing dikes.
Yeah.
And they'll school up on those wing dikes, and man, they go out there and fish for them stripers, man, and they just blast them.
That's the one of the reasons why I got the boat that I got, the 2-2 offshore, so I can go out there and take it on the bay. But that's something I didn't even do last year. I never took it on the bay, so I'm definitely going to take the boat out on the bay this year, so I can go out and catch me striper.
There you go.
Still echoing.
I would. That's another PB I want to upgrade. My PB striper is like, I don't know, 24 inches.
Yeah.
So that I could definitely upgrade that one for sure.
Well, I know there's a lake up here in the center of Missouri, up around even around up there where Lost Oaks and them are, like Lake of the Ozarks. Man, they've got huge stripers up there.
No, still echoing.
Nah, you're good.
No, you're good.
And Stan, with the over 90 have been caught on a Potomac, when? And are there pictures? Because they could be just 90 pounds chunky style and really a 60-pound blue cat. I want to see. I want some evidence. And I know we got big fish out there.
Yeah, but to me, here's the thing, and I'm sure we know Jody's going to agree with this. But one of the most aggravating things, if you're a catfish tournament and you keep hooking stripers, man, then you just hate them.
Yeah. See, I'm jealous. Like on the Tennessee River, I've seen, Justin Johnson. He's catching stripers on cut bait. Like our stripers don't go down to go hit no cut bait on the Potomac River. I wish we could just throw it out.
They will on the Mississippi, but it's just like when they're running about 3 weeks out of the year, like at the end of February and beginning of March, it's like they're running up through here in big schools and they'll hit everything.
All right, Stan. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Stan's comment. Yeah, tag me in it. I want to see this post. But yeah, I've never caught a striper on no cut bait.
Yeah.
I've caught a striper 42 foot deep on cut bait.
42 foot deep? Sheesh.
Yep. Sure have. They're all accident too.
Every striper I've caught is on a bass lure, throwing bass lures.
Well, when I've intentionally targeted them, I throw it's a huge curly-tailed white grub on a big hook. Big jig head.
Yeah.
And you throw that curly tail out there, man, they'll just smash it.
Yeah. That's what we like on the you throw them huge jig heads, and then what is that color? The chartreuse is very, very good color to use out here on the Potomac.
Yeah, and I got a couple of them that I catch on it's like a bucktail. That thing looks like a whisk broom when you throw it out there with a jig head on it. But I have quite a few of them on cut shad. I've had them get cut shad quite a bit.
I've already caught 2 stripes this year on my cut bait for catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lance. I'm the same way. If I get a record blue, I'm just gonna release it. I'm gonna show it off. We're gonna record it. I'm gonna make sure I get the weight of it, or if I'm in the kayak, I'm just gonna get the length and the girth, and then I'm gonna release it. And then the title of the video is gonna be a record blue cat. But I'm gonna release it. I'm not worried about getting a record. I'm not worried about putting my name in the record books at the expense of this fish may have the opportunity of not being released. So I am not worried about that, because I definitely want to be able to catch that again. Or somebody else to be able to catch that again.
Well, here's the thing. I had a guy argue with me on the river the other day because we had this discussion. Because I watched Green Machine, that whole series he did about what you'll do if you catch a record catfish, possible world record. And I was talking to some guys about it over there, and they were all like, he said, man, a record's a record. He said, I don't care what it takes. Obviously, I'm getting that record. And his theory on it was, for a fish to get that big that it has to be really old and it's probably not going to live much longer anyway. So he justified keeping it through that. Because I couldn't tell you right now. I'm not Tim Scott. I can't tell you what the lifespan of a catfish is. I really don't know. Tim could, but they say for them to get that big that they're probably not going to live much longer anyway. And I'm like, well, you do you.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time,
yeah, go ahead.
You catch, say a 90-pound blue cat, I catch, that would be a record, on the Maryland side.
Yeah.
But we know for a fact that the blues can still go up to 100, 110, 120, 130, 140. So
I'm talking like
never know.
Let's take like Carp.
Yeah.
It's like what is it 143 or 145?
I think somewhere around there.
Carp.
Yeah, 144, something like that.
Yeah, something. It's in the mid 140 range.
Yeah.
Well, if you catch a fish that big, that fish has got to be old.
Yeah.
And that's what their argument was. That if you catch one that big, that it's not going to live much longer anyway, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm not going to dog them out. If they want the record and they caught the fish, they have that right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dog them out. May not be what I'd do, but I'm not going to look down on them for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own. I don't, judge people off of what they do. You know what I'm saying? But I just know me personally what I would do, and I hope what I would do would also influence other people to do the same thing. So that's what I do.
And like you were talking about, I mean, just get every bit of information you can right before you release that fish. If you've got scales, get a weight on it. Go ahead and take the measurements to confirm the weight and everything. Get it all on video, get it documented, and man, you can argue your point with anybody that says, hey, the record is this. You go, well, I know for a fact it ain't, and you can go watch this video and I can prove it.
Yeah.
And if they don't believe it, then they don't know nothing about catfishing, because if they know about weights and measurements and stuff, they're going to know that was a record. It won't be an official record, but it'll be a record.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it may not be official,
I guarantee it.
But the one thing to look at, if you catch a world record catfish, it's probably at the end of its life and has spawned plenty of times. Yeah, the one thing is it definitely has spawned plenty of times for sure.
Yeah,
definitely has. But I'm still gonna release it. I don't even have the means to keep a fish alive that big, out.
Me either. No way.
Like you hooking, let's say you're on the bank and you catch this thing, or I'm in the kayak and I catch this thing. Even if I catch it on my boat, I don't have a live well on my boat. So it's like you got to hold this fish and who knows how long. I know I was watching a video of this guy who caught a 44-pound channel cat. I watched a YouTube video that was like 2 months ago. And it's a world record, or it was state record channel catfish. It was in Texas. And he had to go get it, take it to a certified scale. So he took it. I forgot where he took it at. But he got it certified. At this point, the fish was already dead. Then he had put it in the deep freezer and had to wait 2 months for, the state DNR to come out and take measurements and do all that stuff for that. So at the Spencer, he killed a 44-pound channel cat. That's a beast.
Yeah.
That's a nice fish. But
I know there's some monster channel cat on the Mississippi River. Me personally, the biggest one that I've ever caught was 19 3/4 pounds, and that's my best channel cat.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen way bigger than that caught.
Yeah,
not by me though.
Yeah,
I mean my best is 19 3/4, and I thought that thing was massive.
I caught a 25-pounder.
Yeah,
that's a good fish.
That was a channel cat, though.
That is a good.
That is very good
fish. Where's Epic at when you need them? Do they stop spawning at a certain point?
Yeah.
I guess them old ones, them over 100, they need some Viagra so they be
hormone shots or something. See, Luther Harlow said if you land a 150-pound catfish, it would probably be exhausted beyond living too much longer anyway, he thinks. Now, I have seen, I've hooked some big blue cats, and I mean 30, 40 pounders that I didn't know if I was going to be able, I'd put them back in the water and have to try to get them to get back to, revive them. And they'd act like they weren't, and it was really tough to get some of them coming back. And I've actually released some that I have my doubts that they survived after I released them because they went into shock or something. And some fish are like that. I mean, I've seen 20 pounders do that, and you barely have them out of the water no time at all. But if you pull them up from a really, really deep hole, and you got them up out of the water, and you put scales on them stuff, and they're going through all that stress, and you put them in the water, and they just don't want to act right, and they float up on their side and start flopping and finally take off.
Now my biggest flathead is 10 pounds.
10-pound flat?
Yep.
Ooh, yeah, these are monster fish right here, Stan. 85, 84 pounds. Yeah, they're every bit of it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And see, what you got to think about too, a lot of people say, what's your biggest fish? Like, what's your biggest flathead or what's your big tailcat? And they tell you, and that may not seem like a big number to you, but you got to consider where are they fishing at?
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's
that
relative
may be
to the water.
Fish for that area.
Yeah.
Hey, Alvin.
The big rivers like we are. And no matter what you say, big rivers are going to produce big fish. Period.
Absolutely. Like the
Mississippi
was
drainage ditch and catch a world record. It's just not going to happen.
Which river has the oldest population of blue catfish? I know the Mississippi's up there.
Yeah.
Tennessee may be up there too.
I wish I knew half of what Tim Scott did, where I could answer most of these questions.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I know just on the bodies of water that we fish, the Potomac River and the down in the James River where Stan and them fish, they are some of the newer younger bodies of water with the blue catfish. The blue catfish program, they introduced blue catfish on the Potomac some 50 odd years ago. So it's a fairly young population, and it still hasn't hit its peak yet. That's why you have so many of these eater size running around. They're still growing, they're still developing, and the population is flourishing. So we're still like 10 years away from it being at its peak as far as like number size. But I can't wait to start catching, 90s and 100s on the regular. The James River was also around the same time as well, but the James River has them James River gizzard shad that have helped that population, just shoot through the roof. Their population of bait is crazy on
Yeah, and those shad are freaking huge, man.
Yeah, massive.
I know it. And this is something that I thought about because I remember back. I'm old enough to remember when there was no Asian carp in the Mississippi River, none that you'd never heard of. The ones that got in there was a fish farm that was raising them, and what happened was the river flooded and they got out of that fish farm, and that's how the population started. And those things spread like wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest fear was that they're eating because they feed on their filter feeders, and they're eating all the plankton and stuff that the shad and all that stuff eat. And the biggest concern was that they were going to kill off all the native species because they were going to eat the bottom source of the food chain and eliminate it, and everything would die. What I'm seeing, these blue cats are adapting to favor eating these carp.
Yeah.
And what I'm wondering is, are we going to see the blue cat sizes start growing larger and larger to adapt to eating these larger carp that's going to be, they're not going anywhere. They're in the river state. They're here from now on. Now, when those catfish adapt to those larger fish, to a larger bait, will that make them start growing? That's one I'd like to throw at Tim Scott and ask him what he thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say so. The bigger the bait, the bigger the meal, the bigger the fish grows.
going to grow.
Yeah.
Because you look when I went out last Sunday fishing, and I videoed half the day, recorded it, and then I live streamed the other half. Man, I was slamming channel cats on cut Asian carp in the wintertime, which is very unusual because you can even ask Lyle Stokes or Tim Scott, and they'll tell you that they generally don't like to use those carp except for in the hot summer because they just don't bite that well in winter. Dude, I caught 13 fish Sunday on cut carp.
I love carp in the wintertime. That's what me and Brian were using yesterday. Carp is like, I used to like, eel is like a great all around, all time bait on the Potomac River, but carp is just a better wintertime bait. It's that super oily, bloody, and carp stays on the hook very well too as well. But yeah, I love using carp for bait.
Yeah, the skin on it. I mean, in the video I was talking about, I said you can take the skin off of these carp and make shoes out of them. They're that tough.
They really are. They are tough.
I went out Saturday.
Your shoes would definitely stink because carp are some of the stinkiest fish. The stinkiest fish.
I went out Saturday and I fished half a day Friday. I took off work Friday and fished. I had bluegill and I did all right on bluegill, cut bluegill. Saturday I went back over there again with bluegill, but then I decided, you know what? I've got some snagging hooks in my tackle box. And I threw out there, and in three casts, I hooked up on every cast, throwing out there. But in three casts, I brought in and landed 2 carp. Okay, I caught bait within a minute and a half of casting out and jerking that rod in, and every time I jerk it in, I hit a carp. They're that thick in there.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. The Asian carp is thick like that.
Yeah,
we don't have them on the Potomac River, but we got grass carp, and they get massive. I'm talking about. Richard Montano, he pulls in them 20-pounders left and right all the time. I think his biggest is 35-pound, and that's a carp. We're talking about it. They get upwards of 40 plus in there too as well. They get huge.
And that's what's weird about it because I've looked into this and researched it. Those carp originally came from Asia.
Yeah.
You know how, have you seen the videos of where you drive a boat by real slow and the fish start jumping out of the water, just going crazy?
Yeah, that's that Asian carp.
But they don't do that in Asia, where they come from. That freaks them out. When they see the videos from the fish over here, they are surprised at that because those fish do not do that from the native region that they originated from. They don't jump out of the water like that.
That's crazy. I want to make them do that.
I don't know, but it's something that they've adapted to over here that they don't do in their natural habitat. But man, I mean, you got to be careful in a boat in the river now. Them things are so thick, they will knock you out.
Yeah, I've seen videos of fishermen where they just flying in the boat. You don't even have to go catch them; they just fly into the boat.
All you got to do, and here's the thing: a slow running motor at low idle riles them up more than you zipping through there real fast. If you will idle through a cove real slow, man, you wouldn't believe what it does to them. I mean, it's something about the noise frequency or something. I don't know for sure. But a slow moving boat stirs them up worse than a fast boat going by.
That's crazy.
We just cut like maybe 15, 20 feet off the bank and idle and just run the motor through there. And man, you can get 20 or 30 of them to jump in the boat for you in 5 minutes. And I have been slapped upside the head with by before too. And man, you get that slime on there, and you can't wash it off. It's like oil, man. It won't come off.
Yeah, that carp slime is almost as bad as that catfish slime, man.
Yeah. Oh man, I got slapped upside the head, and I saw stars. And man, I had that slime all over my hair, on the side of my head. It was bad.
No, man.
I've never caught a carp. I don't know what it's like. Never.
Jody, carp is an amazing fight. Amazing fight. They are powerful, strong fish, and they peel drag. They peel drag.
So they're kind of like a striper.
I don't know what that is.
Striping bass.
The big stripe you catch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like a striper. Yep.
Yeah.
Like a striper.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do tomorrow. I've got that live stream video that I did Saturday where I snagged them. I threw out 3 times and caught 2 carp. I'm gonna go back and download that live stream video, and I'm gonna pull that little 2-minute clip out of there, and I will post that for you to see, and you're gonna see how easy it is to catch them. I threw out literally, cast out, and you jerk the rod and reel and jerk the rod and reel. On the first cast, the first jerk, I hooked the carp.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second cast, I hooked one, or I hooked into a fish like 3 times, reeled in. And when I held the hook up, it had scales on the hook all the way around it on all 3 barbs.
Yeah.
And on the third cast, I pulled a couple of times and had another one. But I'll edit that out and get just like a short 1.5-minute clip, and I'll put that up for you to check out.
But like with carp fishing, you're using lighter line because they are line shy. Not as much on the river as they are on the lakes and stuff, but you still, using 20-pound tests or under. Most of the time I'm using 15-pound. I even have used 6-pound tests to catch the carp. That's a real fun fight where you're fighting them on some 6-pound tests.
You better have that drag light.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That drag is light.
With these Asian carp, if I'm out of bait, I just pull that snagging rod out, and in 1.5, 2 minutes, I've got bait. Because I can throw out one time, boom, I've got an 8-pound carp, and I'm set for the rest of the day. And that's the video that I will post for you. I'll try to get it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And show you throwing out there and snagging them. You better have heavy line when you're doing that, when you're snagging them. Because
Yeah.
all you're doing is jerking a big giant hook through there and slamming it inside of them and foul hooking them.
Yeah.
And you can pile up the bank with them. They're
Yeah, I bet. What's up, David? Stan said team bait shop. Oh my god. Stan, I'm about to block you on my messenger off of that one.
But something. Here's the thing. Something I've never used for bait, and because I never thought about it until I watched Brian B and Haz and Chunky. But I catch every year. I catch big old giant monster eel on the Mississippi River. Man, we always just threw them right back because we thought, man, slimy, nasty. Get back in the water. And I watched you guys start using bait, and I said, man, do you realize how much bait I threw away last year? Just last year, I threw back, I don't know how many eel. And just unhook them and kick them back in the water.
That's one thing I never caught an eel. Never caught an eel.
Hey, on the Mississippi River, you catch them all the time on the bottom.
Oh yeah, then you should use them. Have you tried to use them yet?
No, that's what I'm saying. When I watched you guys, that's when I said, why wasn't I using those for bait? Because I'd never seen anybody use them for bait until I watched you guys.
Man, they're a great bait. Use them.
Well, I promise
especially you have them in your water.
Bait.
Use them. I'm going to be trapping for eel this year. I'm putting out eel traps.
I might do that myself. I've got some traps already. They're bait traps, but they'll catch them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hook eels on cut bait on Mississippi River. If I go over there fishing, like every other weekend for the whole month, man, I'll catch 3 or 4 eels in that time. Every time I go out. And I'm talking about big eels too. I caught one last year, and I've got a video of it. I'll have to dig it up. It's on my page, but I can't remember what the title it's under. But the biggest eel I've ever caught in my life. And that thing was like 3.5 feet long, and man, it was as big around as an orange. I mean, that thing was huge. And that was the biggest eel I've ever caught. And I wound up throwing it back in.
I've never fished with eels.
David Hamilton and Lisa Barnett stepped in. Howdy do.
Hello, Alicia.
I've never fished with eels, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it.
That's what I'm saying. I catch them all the time, and it never crossed my mind to cut it up and use it for bait until I started watching Haz and Brian and Chunky.
Chunky was the one who got me hip to using them. I remember, I don't know, it was like 2 years ago when I was just starting to get into catfishing, and I was out there with chicken liver and bluegill, trying to catch them, and I went to like 6 different spots over the course of like a month and a half, and had no luck. And then I go on Chunky Cat's YouTube page, and I just leave a comment like, what's the best bait to use? And he was like, white perch or eel. So I go to the Asian market, I find me some eel, and I go out there And it was a wrap ever since I started using eel, man. That bait is something different on the Potomac River. That bait is crazy.
When I saw how much you guys are paying for those eels, I thought, you know what? Dollar signs started rolling up in my eyes. I said, because you know, I can catch those things over here, man.
Melissa.
I could catch $500,000 worth of eel in a year if I targeted them.
Yeah, if you set them to the Potomac, definitely could.
Man.
And Stan, I hope you enjoy your time out, buddy.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
Oh,
I've looked into the Asian market, and the closest one I got to me is like an hour and a half.
No, that ain't worth the drive.
Now your Flathead challenge, is that still going to be at the same time, 10 to 2?
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to overrun anybody in front of me. That's why. That gives Chad and Mark and Lyle their show without me stepping on them.
There was I had just finished a tournament. I was out fishing all morning. It ended around like 2:00, 2:30, and I was getting back to where I had put my kayak in at, and there was a kid fishing right there. He had been fishing there for hadn't caught anything yet. And I had a bunch of bait left over, so I gave him the rest of my eel, and I was like, "Here you go, use this eel." So he cuts it up, puts it on one rod, and I'm unloading my kayak. Not even 5 minutes, he caught a fish, and then he's all happy. He catches it like a 9-pound blue catfish, and then he puts it on the other rods too, throws it back out there, and then 5 minutes later, he catches another catfish. And the fish have been there the whole time. It's just using the right bait. He switched it up, used that eel, and started catching them.
That's every Thursday, right?
Yeah. I think J-Dog used eel that night he was fishing, and he won the competition. The last night when the pole was donated.
I'm trying to remember if he was using eel or not.
He said he was. He said he uses their own bait against them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But you remember that last night, the only two people that caught fish were him and me, and he didn't beat me by much.
Nope.
I came real close to beating J-Dog, but there was only two guys that caught fish. J-Dog caught fish, and I caught fish.
Mm-hmm.
He beat me by like 4.1 pounds or something like that, or 4.3, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a hard beat to take right there. Because all I needed was one little bill 4-pound, 5-pound fish to take him out, and I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's what happens sometimes.
I'll get him, though.
No, is that all summer long, or?
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be all summer long.
Stand
I'll
3.
be out there.
I'm over here taking notes, Stand 3. I can't wait until the kayak tournaments start back up here in March.
I saw you writing something. I said, "Oh man, something fixing to go down."
Yeah, I'm just taking notes over here on Stand 3, and hope he remembers this.
Notes.
Hope he remembers this in March, April, May, June, July when I'm whooping his butt out there in the kayak.
Yep.
Well, I'll be there every Thursday.
Okay. I can't promise every Thursday, but we'll see what we can do. I got a lot of people already asking.
Well, it's a little easier on me by an hour because you do it from 10 to 2, and you guys are an hour ahead of me, so that means I fish from 9 to 1 when I'm in that tournament.
Oh.
Saves me an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Stan wants to know how to apply for Team Bait Shop. I'm gonna show him how to apply. Show him how to apply. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and see, for the longest time, I thought you guys were buying those eels. I thought they were like frozen and vacuum sealed. until I watched one of your videos, and you turned around, looked, and the eel was crawling out of the bag and running off.
Yeah, I keep the things. I buy them fresh. They're still alive. I go get them. The thing is, like, I'll go get them the day before, and I'll put them in the fridge, not in any water or anything like that, and they'll still stay alive. That whole time. For,
they're
for
tough.
a day.
But I remember that you turned around and you're like, "My bait's running off."
I was like, "My bait is trying to get away."
Get back in that bag.
I was like, "That's too much money." There goes $20 trying to get back in the river.
Crawling across the ground.
That's a $20 bill trying to jump back in the river. I had to go get him.
Yeah, man, I laughed so hard when I watched that.
Stan. So the bait shop, they have a cult, and they have a ritual that you have to do. And this is what you have to do. That's how you get into the bait shop. You gotta sit. You gotta sit from your baba. Oh, Jody's great for that one.
Yeah.
And Chad is a team sport. I would not have done that. I would have showed it like, look, okay.
Because that's never going to go away.
never going to go away.
No.
Well,
so you still want to be in the bait shop? Susquehanna stand?
Bottles for everyone.
Yeah. They give them a little bag when they become members. It's got a bottle of pacifier and a bib.
Yeah. It's got a Depends. It's got a bottle.
Here's your membership package.
The only thing you can use out there is the baby wipes. That's it. Everything else is useless.
Oh man.
What time is it?
Well, I tell you all what. The closer it gets, the more excited I get. I cannot wait to meet you guys at CatCon, man.
We are right around the corner too.
I know it. I'm getting so pumped up.
3 weeks. 3
Yeah.
weeks.
It's getting here.
3 weeks till CatCon.
Gonna be a good time.
Well, that's coming quick.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I can't believe a whole year went by already.
Yeah.
I know it's snuck up on us.
A whole year went by. It's been a long. It seems fast. It was a fast year. It was a fast year.
I try to be good, but sometimes it takes over, and I have to be a little mean. And I really don't have. I like to poke fun at everybody, but who was asking for an application for Team Bait Shop?
Susquehanna stand.
Yeah.
There's your application.
That's from the fields to the toilet.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And nobody better write me out for that either.
It's been screen recorded now.
Oh my God. Man.
Oh, my face is hurting from that. I've smiled and laughed so much today, my face is hurting.
Oh man, that was great.
I know what's funny to me. I've watched Jody time and time again, and when something just gets her cracking up where she can't take it, you see that head go down, and all you see is the top of that hat, and you'll see her kind of bouncing, laughing, and you can't. She will not let you see her face when she's cracking up.
Oh, man.
She'll tuck that head.
Man said too late.
Hey, I've been seeing her tuck their head quite a bit here lately.
Oh gosh, it's
I
been
ain't
some
gonna bring
bad
it up, but I've
stuff.
seen some funny stuff. Funny stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Usually I'm hanging my head in shame.
No.
Now, would you take a bet you dress up as a Barney if someone loses?
As a what?
I watched
Barney on live.
Bonnie. I don't know who that is.
Oh, you talking about Bex and Vonnie live earlier?
No, I'm talking about dressing up as Barney on
Oh,
live.
Barney.
Oh, Barney, the dinosaur?
Yeah.
The dinosaur.
That'd be an easy bet. You just be out money to get the costume.
Uh-oh. Who has to
I
dress
mean,
up as
if
Barney?
you're money, pork chop.
Oh, Pork Chop. Pork Chop wants to do the bet?
Yeah, I'll do the bet.
What are y'all betting?
What was it? The blues?
No blues. It's all flats. Biggest flathead.
The biggest flathead wins.
Yep.
Yeah, I can go with that.
You said your biggest flathead was 10 pounds, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I want my new PB.
You sure you want to do this?
Yep, I ain't scared.
Oh, Lord.
You should be.
But are you smart?
Oh.
Because
Pork
that's
Chop.
not a smart bet. I'm going to protect you.
I'm going to pray for you, Pork Chop.
I ain't gonna try to save him. Let him go. Let him go. Hey, sometimes
Look, I'm
experience
moving.
is
I
the
don't even
best
take
teacher.
sucker bets.
Guess we'll have to set it up in April.
Oh, he wants to do this soon. He said April. Let's get it.
April.
Barney Rubble.
You better make sure he ain't got a flathead in a fish tank at the house.
He's got like 50 fishing poles in his basement hanging on the ceilings.
Yeah.
I just got
What
me
do
a
you
new one the
fish
other day.
for? What do you fish for usually? Bass?
Blues, channel, flatheads.
Catfish Curtis to the rescue.
Yep.
There's my buddy.
Hey.
Did you take one?
It's a little too cold out there. I'm done.
I was going to say, it looks like you're sitting in the car, man.
Let me move you. Let's see.
I'm driving now.
Curtis, you still
Oh, I
got
thought you
lines
were
out?
there.
He packed up. He said, that's it.
Blue line ain't gonna run.
I just watched somebody get pulled over in the parking lot. 9 cop cars showed up. They arrested him for something, and that was more exciting than fishing.
That was the most exciting of the day.
Well, let me give you a tip. When cops pull up and start arresting people, don't run for your car like that, man.
Nope.
Don't be running at the car, man. Just stay there with the poles. Keep your hands up. So I'm just fishing.
Interesting story. I actually caught my PB after a cop told us that we had to leave because of an incident happened a week before where somebody got shot in the eye right in the same parking lot that I was fishing at on the Schuylkill. And I was sitting there. It's on. I caught. It had the cop lights and everything sitting there when I was showing off the fish, and I had to convince the lady before that, the lady cop before that, that we could fish a little bit. And sure enough, caught my PB Flathead that night.
Well, so much for me going up to the Schuylkill. Getting shot in the eye up there.
But you know what? Ever since then, I bet you Curtis has got blue flashing lights all around him, looking like Chucky's lit up, but he's using blue cop lights when he's fishing.
Yeah.
Look, you would think fishing in DC was bad, but nah, that's Schuylkill. It's trouble.
Wait. I mean, I just flashed my chunky rod, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you're good, you're good."
You know the king of bling. You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should see like on Friday nights, on Schuylkill on Friday nights, because we're right down by the infamous Boathouse Row and right by the art museum and everything. There's people traveling down on scooters, on roller skates, and it's like this big party out there every Friday night. So we go out and we just hang out and fish all night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm ready for
It's a chill spot. It's really chill.
I'm ready for the springtime. Tired of these cold weather.
Hold on, was it? I'm trying to remember. Has if it was you or Brian B. I think it was you, and Brian B. was down to a different spot for me. One of y'all fishing one night, and a bunch of people come up there drunk, start jumping in the water.
That wasn't me.
That was Brian B.
It's Brian B. Yeah.
I know it. I can't wait till spring and summertime.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I'm ready to stay some time on the water.
Stan, your wrench is stuck at the port.
Well, we got an inch of ice and 8 inches of snow today.
Crazy.
Well, I mean,
I
I'm
hope I
fishing
don't
a lot
get any.
now. I just want to be warmer when I do it.
I just don't want the river to be frozen at my favorite winter spots, my favorite winter holes.
Yeah, I never had that problem. Mississippi River don't never freeze.
That's what I said too, and then the river froze up on me. I said, but your river don't freeze. Nah, it's rare that it freezes. And then what do you know? It froze up this winter. I ain't gonna say that again. The last time it froze was 2018. Last time it had ice on the river. There was a time, I can't believe this, that the Chesapeake Bay froze over and people were able to walk across it. And we're talking about, 5 miles long, ice.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. And like, I can't even imagine that. This was like in the 60s. Like it was a great, Arctic, temperatures came down and it froze the bay. That's crazy.
Hey, was that the blizzard of 96?
No. This was in the 60s, but the 96 we got a lot of snow that winter. We got hit with I remember that. I was like 7 years old at the time. We got hit with a lot of snow. That was the last real true blizzard
we were ice
that we
skating
had.
on the street.
That was the last true blizzard that we had. We had one 2015, I think, was the last real major snowstorms that we had in Maryland. We got hit with 2 feet, and then a day later we got hit with another foot. There was a lot of snow. I know, Bex. It is I can't even imagine that. Ice fishing on the Chesapeake Bay. You're pulling in 60-pound stripers through the hole in the ice.
You have a big hole.
Yeah, you're gonna need 5 holes right there to get them through. You got to cut a hole.
That's what's bad about that. You'd have to cut a hole so big that you'd have to be careful not to fall in it. It ain't like those little bitty ones. You step in that hole, you're going in.
Yeah. Anybody do any ice fishing?
Just Mark.
I would like to try.
Nope.
It seems interesting and fun, but it seems expensive too. Because you have to buy nice clothing to be able to stay out there.
Yeah.
You're not wearing your clothes.
Yeah, I got all the winter gear and to stay warm. Man, I even got me a little hut I could set up and go fishing in, but no, we don't get ice that thick. Curtis, you been ice fishing?
Yeah, I did it one time, and that's the only time I'm gonna ever do it. Lake Wallenpaupack.
Uh-huh.
Man, that was the scariest and the most exhilarating time I ever had.
You caught a lot of fish?
It was too cold, freeze. No, we didn't catch anything. We got drunk.
He said, "No, we didn't catch anything."
It was like six guys. we got drunk the night before. Came out in the morning. We're all messed up. We're building fires on the bank. We go out like 30 yards off the thing. We sit there for like an hour and a half. We're like, nah, we're done. That was our experience. Never again.
Yeah, I would love to do it, but like way up north where that's what they do, and they got all the setups with the nice big huts that they set up on the ice with the little heaters. You cut holes in it, and then you can sit at least 3-4 people in. You got your little fish finder with the flasher on it, and you get up on top of some nice pike and muskie and chain pickerel and crappie and stuff like that. That'd be fun to just pluck them through the ice.
We had nothing.
Even catfishing through the ice. That would be fun to do some catfishing through the ice. I would like to try it.
Nope, did it one time and
no nothing.
I ain't doing it again.
Why?
Too cold.
You didn't have the gear right, did you?
Nope.
Yeah, with the right gear, you could be out there in a hoodie. When you got that heat cranking in your little hut, you're good to go with the right gear.
Yeah.
Like that buddy heater that I got, and I got that big old 20-pound. That lasts a long time. Probably I don't know how long, how many hours, but I would say at least like 40 hours.
Mine lasted 3 nights.
3 nights?
That's a double burner.
Oh yeah. And you got it? Do you have it split to go to both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have the double. I got the single. But that's still a lot. That's still a lot of use out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this video that I'm editing is gonna be coming out next week sometime. Me and Mark are doing some ice fishing from the bank.
Yeah.
You gonna see some of that in there. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
We didn't catch nothing. But
We do pound sinkers across the ice out there until it finds open water.
and I was casting them. I had to cast a few times until it broke through the ice. I was using my heavy, like normally on the Potomac you throw 4s. I'm throwing 8-pound sinkers just so I could break through the ice. 8-ounce sinkers just so I could break through the ice. I was like, well, they're on bottom. I don't know if I'll be able to get the fish in if we hook it, but at least my baits are on bottom. I was like, yeah, if we go, I mean, the ice, it would probably about 1/2 inch, maybe a little less in some parts. So some parts you can break, but other parts, no, still too thick.
Well, I'll tell you what's always it's kept me from even being interested in ice fishing is, I mean, you go out there and you pick a spot and you set up your little tent and everything and all your heaters and all your gear, and you drill a hole in the ice, and then you find out you picked the wrong spot. You got to pick all that crap up and move.
Yeah.
Man, that seems like that'd be a lot of trouble to me.
Well, I think you don't set the tent up until you own them. Like, you'll probably just drill a couple pilot holes, test it out, see what it is, and then once you find the good spot, the good honey hole, then
you set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you set up on it. That's what I would imagine.
And
if you know that body of water,
a lot of them guys that ice fish on a regular basis, they probably know in locations where there's structure under that ice and
Yeah.
where to go to. And
That's what I was about to say.
I'd just be a blind idiot drilling holes in the ice, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's how I be too. That's how I am with lake fishing. Like I'm a blind idiot on the lake, but you put me on the river, we gonna find some fish. But the lake, oh man, the lakes are tough.
No,
lakes are pressured.
I'm strictly a river person. I've tried fishing lakes, and you know I'm not dogging lakes out. I've seen guys catch fish on lakes, so I know there's good fish in the lakes, but it's not for me. I'm strictly a river guy.
Yeah, lake fishing is tough.
Yep.
That's what I do, fishing lakes.
Oh, pork chop! You fishing a lake up against Pontoon Jody on the Tennessee River?
Yep, he is.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I got a couple good lakes I could go to.
Well,
You ain't throwing out jug lines, are you?
Go to your best lake. You need to go to your best lake.
Now he's grown. He don't need help. He's big enough boy to make a bet. He's big enough to pay it.
Yep.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
When's this going down?
Sometime in April.
Yeah.
Sometime in
Nobody's got nothing going on.
Yep.
I'll be watching for that.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So would the loser have to wear? How long do they have to wear? Do they have to go fishing with it? You know, the Barney costume.
I don't think you just made Macadam wear a few minutes. I'd say you wear it 2 days straight.
2 days straight.
And everything.
Curtis, are you already home, or are you so cold you just broke into somebody's house?
I like that idea better. 2 days straight.
2 days
I do
straight.
too. And you don't
Big
stay
Mike
home
did.
the 2 days either.
Big Mike did wear it in the store though. I remember him.
You go get,
he went in the store.
you go get groceries. You go to the job. If you go to church, you go churching.
I'll do that. I ain't scared.
Here we go. He's doing the strip show. Careful, buddy.
Easy.
Captain America.
Yeah, David Smith, that didn't keep your drinks cold. I didn't even need to bring the cooler when I was out there fishing the river during that 48-hour tournament. I just put my drinks in the water, right in the ice.
Yep.
That was good. Yeah. Nice and cold. Nice and cold, but I gotta get about it. I gotta be up at 7 in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna close here in a few minutes. I'm not gonna stay up to 2. Ain't no sense in dragging it out. Thank you for coming out and helping.
I ain't got a work problem. I gotta figure out some way to the river without my truck. I gotta figure something out. I gotta go to water tomorrow. I got to. I can't take it, man. 4 days off and don't fish? No, that's not.
Oh nah. Yeah, I'll be going crazy if I had 4 days off and then find the water.
Danny gonna find him a bike somewhere.
I like that, Tim. Loser has to sing this Barney song too.
I do too.
All right, well, I'm out of here. Dan 252, Curtis, Pork Chop, Jody.
Has.
Guys, next time.
All right, take it easy.
Thank
Has.
you.
All right, good seeing you, Has. I'm fixing to
All
pull
right.
out right behind you.
All right.
Bye.
Yep, I think I'm gonna bounce off and head to bed myself.
Well, thank you, Danny. Appreciate you coming up, telling your story.
You bet, sis. You know how much I care about you.
Yeah.
Always
Appreciate it.
Oh man, I just
All right,
got
we'll catch
home,
y'all
got
later.
my 1 ton.
Talk
Take
to you
it easy,
later.
Danny.
Everybody have a good night and be safe.
See you, Danny.
Right. Curtis, I want to thank you for coming up and helping. What is it, One Time Club?
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah. I was thinking of getting one. The pinking. I don't know if I will or
Oh
not.
no, I won this.
Oh, okay.
I won. Yeah, I won
Yeah.
it in one of the giveaways.
Even better. You want it.
Hey, I got the ultimate prize. I don't care what anybody says. That chunky rod is. You can't
Yeah.
get any better than that.
It's
No,
priceless.
you can't. Yeah, it is. It's definitely unique, one of a kind. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and
All
end.
right.
Unless someone's got
Yeah.
something they want to say or do. Appreciate everybody
No, I
watching.
guess.
Had a good time and learned a lot. Had a good time hearing everybody's stories and the features. And I'll see you again next Thursday. Hopefully, I'll be fishing Thursday. We'll just have to wait and see if the weather cooperates.
All right, take care, everyone.
I'll see you soon. Bye.
Later, guys.